Hello, and welcome to my so-called life. My name is William, and this is the House of Sewing. Wherever you are, I hope you're doing well, and I thank you for watching my channel. It's Saturday night. I hope I got the thumbnail right. Let's go sewing.
It's Resurrection Friday, kicking the ballistics on WIMN. Yo, I got a phone call my God. You want to hold cake? I said hold up. Yo, big dick, you trying to get money here. WIMN, Taylor Soul, Saturday,
Girl meets boy on Thursday night. Boy was high, girl fly like kite. They hold hands until next day. Boy then let's go hit his way. Boy rolls blunt back to his boys. Erection brings bad boy joys. Boy thinks of that big fat back. Big black fat, love big black fat. Girl calls boy to stand him up on Saturday. Saturday, it's a Saturday, it's a Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday, it's a Saturday.
Back once more with the wallop in the score. Smash about a riff should make you rock your hip. Revival of the roller boogie in a ricochet to make you think about the time we spoke fun instead of fight. But diving from a piece of metal should have life. Slip your butt to the fix of this mix. Toss that briefcase, it's time to let loose. Cause you work like heck to get the weekend check. So unfasten that sleeper on your neck. Connected like a vibe from the wheel to the foot. Come on everybody, did the funky output.
5 days you work, 1 whole day to play. Come on everybody, wear your roller skates today. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday,
Now as you pump your fists, I reminisce to a bounce rock skate roll fest to impress. Hey pretty diamond, do you like the way I'm dressed? Cool, keep the faith and be my mate, cause all we need is feet. But promote the hustle cause it keeps me thin. No need to talk, look who just walked in.
is there a blood on skate?
Yes, man.
So kick the wham on this jam.
Oh, Mr. Sprinkler, wet me for one, Mr. Sprinkler. I'm heating high five and a day's no split. With the yawn, I trip to the dawn. Out comes the bodies following the one idea. It's clear, rattle to the roll. Hold back up the track, grab your roller skates, y'all, and let's zip on by. Zippity doo, now let's zip on by. Feet on the weed and we're feeling high. Sun is on thick and the cheese is rolling thick. Come on, it's no time to hide. Season is twist, spinning and winning. No hack and sack, let me in. Spill on the bottom away, but it's okay. It's a Saturday. Now let's all get baked like Anita.
Watch Mr. Lawn, don't look at the Peter.
Feel on the farm, I'll feel on the.
Hey, watch that.
It's a Saturday.
Now is the time to act the fool tonight. Forget about your worries and you will be alright. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday,
Hello. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday night. And Kilroy is right. I am going for the Guinness Book World Record, world's longest intro. I am. I'm old school. I feel like you should get an intermission. You should have time to grab your popcorn, sit down, give the usher a hard time. Yay. Hello. And this evening we have a special guest, Phoenix Electra Circus. Hello. Great to see you.
Hello.
You sound great. Your microphone sounds great as well. How's your day going?
It's going fine, but for some reason you should be going through my headset, so I don't hear you on the mic. Let me see what's going on. But yeah, I don't know. I've got the melancholy. The smoke's coming down bad, and I've just been poorly.
Same here. The only reason I'm so happy right now is because I'm on a bunch of asthma medication because the smoke was so bad I had to go to the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
So I have my my nebulizer right here. It's bad. It's bad. But I hope everyone's doing well. It is yet another beautiful Saturday evening, even though on the West Coast it's smoky. I decided to spend the money on and hire a new co. Before we get offensive, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, former co-host, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of every single human being on planet Earth. I hope everybody has a great evening flying my so-called life airlines. But if you're having a bad day, if you know you need a hug, we have exits on both sides. That's a izquierda and derecha. I hope everybody has a great evening. It was kind of mild today, so I can't complain about the weather because it was like 85 all day.
I know, that's the one good thing about the smoke is that it keeps the temperature down. My camera's frozen for some reason. Whatever.
You know, every once in a while I look up like, oh, what day is it? Today had some weird holidays. Today is like National Scotch Day, like actual drinking scotch.
Like the drinking of the Ishkiba, huh? Oh no, that's whiskey. Never mind.
Well, scotch reminds me of my grandfather because when he retired, that was his co-host. I'm gonna say it. Bringing the athletes in, and both was stupid. Thank you. I didn't watch the Olympics, but the news won't shut up about the opening. Okay. So I walked into my local dispensary and said this. Hey, Dixie, and the owner, who is my friend, is from Russia. And I said, they're on boats. And he said, no. And I said, yes. And he said, no. And I was like, they're on boats. And we started laughing. And that was at 10 o'clock yesterday morning. Hey, Dixie, how's it going? How's it going? Great to see you. I did watch the opening ceremonies live when it was on in the morning because I'm an early riser. But you can't always take the weather into consideration, though.
No, you can't. Which is that was. I heard that one of Lady Gaga's dancers like slipped on the stage and fell. And
I saw that
and was like, "Oh yeah, we got to finish this."
I saw that. I did a ton. You know, it's really funny. I chose not to go out today. I slept in. I woke up, and I woke up to Phoenix's stream. Then I was like, I'm not going to go out.
I'm not. Mess, it felt like, but whatever.
And you know what, though? Streaming in general is a hot mess. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go out. And I ended up going to this one thrift store over the hill, and I found a few things.
Right. I know. I saw that. You had, and there's a new sewing machine that underwent some attention.
But I got one. Okay, tell me this. Would you ever turn this bag down?
No. Oh, a bag full of notions? Absolutely not. I'm using pieces from a bag full of notions that. No, I just put a virtual. I'm like
let's open it up.
On the screen.
Let's open it up. This is sewing Christmas. This is like sewing Christmas right here. Ooh, buddy.
I did go out to the Goodwill myself, and I got a giant foldable cardboard cutting mat. I was like, oh, I've got one I can pin in now.
Yay, Joy. Hello.
Joy.
Hello. I want to say hello to Dixie, Kilroy, everybody. Joining now or in the future. You are absolutely welcome here in the House of Sewing. I just talk about life and all the crazy things that I gather along the way. Of course, I bought an empty container.
Well, there's always one random one that gets snuck into the bag. Maybe it's just fell out of the package.
Snoop Dogg carrying the torch was stupid, and LeBron James is not an amateur. He can go take a long walk off the pier. I had this same conversation with my son because I was like, it's for amateurs. I was like, you can be in the Olympics in a couple years. And he looks at me, he's like, I couldn't be on the basketball team. None of us could be, son. None of us.
No, I'm never going to be tall enough.
At least back then, the Olympics was a chance for some random people to hit it big. Now it's famous people fest. I agree. In a lot of ways, I am obsessed with the Olympics. I love watching the opening ceremony. Look at these buttons. Wow. I thought the whole boats thing was kind of crazy, and I thought it was kind of, oh wow, these are old. And these are from Garden City, New York, 845 Stewart Avenue.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like we should put a year on everything for people like me who live in the future and collect stuff.
I'm sure you could Google it and somebody on Etsy or eBay is probably selling one that they know the year.
Like this button, okay? This is perfect. This is from 1975. Still in the
It's a zipper,
package.
not a button,
But this is older than me. Oh, good times. And I also got patterns, but I didn't get as many because I purchased a sewing machine and I had to tell myself, like, you're going crazy at the thrift store. And regardless of what people think, I do check myself at the thrift store.
Right.
Was that a rumor, or did the power go out in Paris tonight? Do you know, because I live on the West Coast, everything I watch is on a delay until I get to the news.
I haven't heard about today, but I did hear yesterday they were trying to fudge around with the trains. There was a arson on the trains.
I should put my glasses on.
Do it.
Speaking of years, let's see if this has a year on it. The problem is I can't see far away with my glasses. Up close, I can see perfect. I love these old patterns, and sometimes it's more or less just for the cover. Oh, this is the one that didn't have a year. Oh, never mind. This is from.
Oh, here, let's guess the date. Hold on.
It was all over X and Twitter.
Oh,
We're having all kinds of crazy issues, though. Guess what year this is
pattern 1987.
Oh, you're 2 years off. This is from 1989.
Oh, I'm so close.
I remember these people.
Yes, me too. Yes.
This is why I love these old patterns. That's crazy. And you know what? Everybody's like celebrating the Olympics coming to LA, and I'm like, do not bring the Olympics to LA. Even though I'll probably make a ton of money because I do construction, I'm kind of 50-50 on the Olympics. I pulled that address up. Now it's an empty office sandwich between a deli and a medical plaza. That kind of makes me want to cry. Okay, can you guess? Hold on. What year this is from? Let me look. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
Look at everybody's hair. Look at the patterns.
I'm like 1981.
1970.
Oh, shit.
This one thrift store that I go to, they, for some reason, I think there's an old seamstress or an old shop somewhere because they constantly have these there. I buy them all and then I come back and there's more.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would do it.
That one. Oh, I love these. Let me see. The drawings are a little bit harder to guess what year. And I love how they say this is made for US and England only. Like if you lived in Canada, are you excuse me, are you excluded?
No, they had their own printing of it.
This doesn't have a year on it. Oh, it probably does.
On the inside. Oh, let's see here. Oh, that is 1990. I'm gonna go 1990.
You think so? Oh man, I wish there was a year on here. This screams 1980. I think this is the one that didn't have the year because one of them didn't have the year, and I'm like, ah.
It must be
Oh,
on the insert though, on the instruction sheet.
but they're usually printed on the side. Hey, Alibaba.
Hey, hey! Sorry for such a short show this morning. We'll do better tomorrow.
Mr. Sewing, old ladies die every day. That's all they keep getting. It isn't a really prestigious, like more established part of something that's within 30 miles of my house. Hey, David and Davids. Okay, it's been a minute. I haven't
Hey.
visited all of you. Let me get super baked and see what y'all are. Great to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. You know what's funny, Kilroy? My pops used to say that all the time, and he would be like, "You know where you're getting that, right?" But it's true. It's true. I'm trying to be positive, but when I see somebody's like the worst are when I see sewing kits, like somebody's homemade sewing kit. I'm like, somebody had to have like passed for anyone to have this, you know?
And then it's just sad that nobody cared to want to keep it in the family.
That does make excuse me, that does kind of get me too. But like when my grandma passed, I took all her sewing stuff and did not ask. Did we this one, hold on. This one made me laugh.
Oh, that is like 1988.
This is from hey everybody. Hello, hello. This is from 1985.
Oh, I'm so close.
You know what though? Let's be real. And yeah, I'm from the suburbs, and I'm proud to be from the suburbs. I wore my collar up. I'm not kidding you. Until 1990, my friend's mom, who she was from England. I'm not kidding you. Before school, she walked up to me and she flipped my collar down, and she's like, "The 80s are over, William." I'm not kidding you. So these styles stuck around for a while is what I'm trying to say, you know?
Yes, they did.
I was still dressing like I was in Revenge of the Nerds in 1989. So, okay, this is the last one.
Oh, that looks a little bit later, and the styling is later. I'm going to go with 93.
Yay, hello everybody. This is from 1995.
Oh, I keep being like 2 years off.
Like I said, people were still dressing like I remember people still dressing like that. You know? Gosh, these buttons are from 19. All of these zippers are from 75. I'm gonna reuse these. I'm gonna incorporate them into my sewing. I don't know, it's weird. A lot of things I won't use, but something like this, I'm gonna use all of it. Only time I wear
Those
my
metal
collar.
zippers are the best.
My collar up is when it was cold and windy out.
Right.
I come from yuppie land.
Yeah, winters in the East Coast are darned cold. Many a day.
Let's see. Let's see. There was also something else. Oh yeah. This kind of made me laugh, and this all came from the same store. This is the Game of Graces.
Okay.
Have you ever been to a Renaissance fair and you see people playing that weird hoop game?
Oh, yes.
That's exactly what this is. It's the Game of Graces. It comes with ties. It comes with ties and everything. And I guess they just assume that you can find two sticks. What if you live like deep in the inner city where it's hard to find sticks?
No, it's just that they're called chopsticks.
I know.
Or bamboo skewers.
I'm just being over analytical. Oh, and of course, I purchased a sewing machine.
Of course you did.
But I'll get professional help later. Let's talk about the sewing machine.
The question.
I don't have a high enough BS tolerance to go to a Renaissance fair. I love going to Renaissance fairs. I would have thought it was a ribbon embroidery and a hoop. I thought it was too. When I first grabbed it, Dixie, I thought it was. And as somebody, I own so many of the wooden embroidery hoops. It's not even funny.
I know. I keep thinking. Sorry. I talk, but my camera is frozen up for some reason, and I have it. Yeah, I know. I'll figure out my video in a second. I should just keep myself hide my picture of being stuck. But I was gonna say something.
This is from my grand. I found this in my grandmother's house, but this is a metal embroidery hoop from I don't know what year. Still has cork on it and everything.
I want one like that. I've been on the lookout, but haven't found one for a price that I feel like paying for it.
I sideways inherited this. I found it. Oh, that's funny. Oh, let me clear my desk. Let's see what else. Today is also cross-Atlantic communication day for telegraphs. And for some reason, I really think that should that was an amazing adventure back in the day. And kids don't even, like, if I pulled out a telephone right now, a rotary telephone, the average person would get lost. Yay. Got fires and floods down there. Yeah. Not yet, but we're getting all this smoke and it's semi unbearable. Tell you the honest truth. But I have a ton of asthma medication. But we should all keep Skids Crasher. We should all keep Skids Crasher in mind because it is blazing where Skits lives. Crazy, we got fires here too. It's just insane where Skits lives right now. So for everybody in Northern California, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Just it's crazy times. And the funny thing is, BC is bad. See, it's bad everywhere. And the sad thing is, I'm so used to it. The other day, I walked out and I'm like, it smells like smoke. It smells like smoke. And I started panicking. And of course, I Googled it and there's fires everywhere. Everywhere up and down the West Coast. So crazy, crazy, crazy times. And for all the people who are immunocompromised or can't breathe, this is just a terrible, terrible time of year. All right, let me clear my desk. I was going to show off my sewing machine. All right. Oh, this thing is solid. This is a heavy sewing machine. Excuse me. It said that it's an all metal sewing machine. And let me tell you, it's not. Right here, it literally says recommended for school use, heavy duty, all metal model. In plain English. I am not kidding you. It says all metal model. Gosh, this thing's heavy. And it's not. It has metal where it counts, but there are still plastic parts to this. Parks Canada and BC waited 8 days to call in help. The 9th day was too bad for the water bombers, and the winds were 100 kilometers per hour. They didn't even try to put it out, again, in my opinion. It's like that. It's like that here, too. It's just crazy times. And it's funny you would say that because it's windy. Today has been just an absolute strange day as far as the weather goes. So when I pop the top of this, all anywhere where there's a button, there's plastic, but everything else is metal. So let me. Yes, I heard Trudeau turned her down and she was requested federal help. Yikes. Yikes. It's bad here. I can literally smell them. You could smell it. And how far away do I live? I feel I live extremely far. I could tell you exactly how many miles away I live, and I could smell it. Tell them to do what Callie does and take some jailbirds out to fight the fire. That's real. That's real. We have armies of what do they call them? They're called fire techs or fire jumpers. There's a name, but we have armies of them here. We had the whole talk about that last time about morality. All right. Gosh, I forgot about that. By my job is one of the places where they mobilize. So I see their trucks and everything. It's the infrastructure that they have is unreal. It's unreal to see how they fight a fire. Just last week, I was driving down the canyon. They have a bulldozer that is so big it takes 2 people to operate. It's unimaginable how humongous that thing is. Good times. Good times. Doesn't Trudeau have a stupid low approval rating? At any rate, saying no to helping fight a wildfire is going to make it even worse. All right, let me get a test piece for this before we start singing Blame Canada, because it's bad everywhere. And I'm working on a short right now, but I actually used proper sewing machine oil while refurbishing this sewing machine. So no sewing machines were harmed in the filming of this live whatsoever. All right, let me put some of this away a little bit. Perfect. All right, I'll worry about that later. All right, let me turn on. I have all kinds of lights in here, but I have a light right here. It works, but I also feel like I'm baking myself. I blame Canada for putting that green bean in the brownie of a TV dinner I had earlier. Oh no. Oh, I just think of that song from this first South Park. I've had many Canadian friends, and that is always something that ends in laughter when you start singing that song. So I got this from a thrift store. Like I said, they always have the strangest stuff, tons of patterns, but it's kind of hit or miss. But they always have older sewing machines. Like I said, it's from a more established side of LA. How did I get it? There we go. All right, let me switch my angle real quick. See if I can figure this out. Bam! So this camera, I think one of the reasons it was cutting out was because of the heat, but I also think it was because of the extension. So hopefully this works. Oh, wow. Bugs Bunny debuted today in 1940. That's awesome. I am one of those people who grew up watching Bugs Bunny, so that's awesome. There we go. There's always a thread guide or something sewing machines are much like cars. It's kind or like a bicycle. How many different ways can you really change a bicycle? So every year they'll put a thread guide somewhere different or add something different, but really it's a sewing machine. So I think that now that I'm sitting here, I don't know if this has a bobbin in it. All right, give me one quick second. And yes, I thread a sewing machine the real old school way. I do. It's true. Perfect. Oops. So I purchased this at a thrift store that's in a more established place of what I would consider LA County. It's a place of like nothing but mansions, but they're from the 1960s and the 1970s. So when I say established neighborhood, it's just, people have been there for a while. And I always find amazing stuff at this thrift store, but they have really bohemian, like really hippie hours. And I think it's ran by teenagers. So when I go there, I have to bring my patience. Like even today, there was a young lady behind the counter who was helping someone. They were being a bit of a Karen, but they took almost like 6 or 7 minutes, and I almost needed my inhaler. I was telling myself, like, this is a good time to practice patience. Here, a house is brand spanking new. If it was built in the 70s, I knew you were going to say. My area, most of my area, except for my grandmother's house is from the 60s, but most of my area is from the early to late 70s. Or we always say like, oh, a Brady Bunch house. We always say that. All right, so let me find the bobbin. It should be right here. Hey, Phoenix.
Yes.
You have a little bit of feedback.
Hold on.
There you are. Oh, wherever. All right. Right there. There you are. I can't hear you now.
Okay, I was whispering to myself so I could read and not be too loud. I just like,
Perfect. Hey, Greg Bryant. JD Vance had sex with a cow. Do what you will with this information. How's it going, Greg? Great to see you. Of course. It is a bobbin popping out kind of night.
okay.
Let's see if that secures itself.
Bobbins popping out. Like so. Oh, that didn't.
So, do you watch the Olympics at all, Phoenix?
I used to, but since they've made it NBC or make me want to say choice words, and it's so impossible, and I'm not going to pay for Peacock. I guess I would need to try to use my VPN to see how, because I forget to put the live TV button on. But
they even like most of the time they'll have it on all their off channels, and they didn't even have it on their off channels this year. Like they want you to pay for the Olympics.
Yeah, no, and that makes me mad because something so amazing should be for all the people.
And fun fact, if you live in Mexico, you can watch all the events for free. I don't know about any other country. Use a glove, I guess. How bad of a rug burn did he get?
We'll find out.
I watched some of the opening by accident. I did say the boats were dumb over and over. Did you watch any of the opening ceremony at all?
I just saw the clips of it. I heard Celine Dion was amazing, and I'm glad that she sang. I just saw the clips that everybody's like melting down over on the Kais, the X's, the Exeters,
Mhm.
and I part of me makes me laugh. Then I heard that some folks' interpretation is completely wrong, and like it wasn't the fourth horse of the apocalypse. It was for the goddess of the sun and all these different things, and
Imagine.
people are reading into it, and I'm just like,
But most of the interpretations were wrong. I was sitting in a room with someone who I forgot that speaks French fluently, my mother, and she like she literally stood up and stood next to the television and was interpreting because the interpretation was so bad.
yeah,
So it's one of those things.
right. Oh, Ellie, you tried to hook up an old school gaming console and somehow got a digital signal through the game system and made analog get a digital 1080 signal. Sweet.
I wish
You
you
are
lived
Dr.
closer.
Frankenstein.
I wish you lived closer. I have a satellite interceptor built by someone who worked for NASA on my roof, and I'm scared to turn it on because the FCC might come to my house.
Well, as long as you're not selling and rebroadcast. As long as you're not rebroadcasting.
I wouldn't even know how to do any of that. I just know if I turn it on, I can watch anything.
Right. Oh, Allie, well, I'm so glad you got your project to work from this morning, because I know it was causing you some guff.
I feel like Dr. I love stuff like that. I don't watch the Olympics, but it only happens once every 4 years. I think the TV stations have the cash that they could go without commercials for a couple of weeks without every four years. You know what's so funny? It feels like the Super Bowl though, because every commercial is it's like a brand new commercial. But I really don't watch television, so every commercial is brand new to me. Sometimes I watch the Olympics, but I refuse to support Frey. It's you know, if you have a United States feed, you'll rarely see France. Trust me. I've been watching American, and like I watched Canada play Greece, and Greece has that guy who plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. Canada has 10 people who play in the NBA, and they beat Greece. I was shocked. Canada knows how to play basketball.
Oh, wait, it's where their feet are. They learned it from the best.
And South Sudan almost beat America a week ago, and they're going to play either tonight or tomorrow. I'm on the West Coast, so I get the times off. They're probably playing right now.
Right, yeah. My favorite is the rhythmic gymnastics. Go figure, but...
It was on. That was on earlier too. Hold on, let's see what's on right now. Let's take a peek with me in my squeaky chair. Oh, they're just talking.
Lame.
Prime time in Paris. Let's see coverage of 4x100 freestyle relays and more in swimming, men's qualifying in gymnastics. I watch everything.
That was so terrible that the Australian bike team had their van broken into, and they recovered some of their kit, but not all of it.
I saw that. Just like I was trying to explain to my son, like Paris is just like LA, London. It's like any major city that you would think of. Don't leave your stuff laying around. Hold on, let's make you big because you're actually sewing. Let's make you big.
I finished the flower. I'm gonna do some open air, but things were just not working out. So I was like, let's add some seam details. Got the bias binding at the bottom, and now we're just going to bias bind the top and contemplate how I'm going to finish this, or if I'm just going to leave a big empty hole and people will find out tomorrow during my show how I decide. Because I still have my daddy top to finish also from last week. Because after that
That's
guy
beautiful.
was kind of creepy.
That is absolutely beautiful.
I think you were... Yeah, I streamed making this. This is the same princess cut pattern I've been
watching the progression. I have this weird rule of when I'm out and about, I try not to be online because I consider that like real life, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh no, you absolutely should. That's why I'm like keep wanting to send you the link, but I know like people do have lives. That's not
No,
not
but
necessarily my hours of streaming.
I've been bit by the travel bug, and I might go back to Vegas next weekend. But like on Saturdays, I kind of need an intervention. I need someone to send me a link so I don't go out shopping.
Okay, well, it's always 11 o'clock. So if you're around, I'll start sending you the link, and that might help me with my Saturday ennuis. Actually,
Well,
just everything's an ennui right now. I don't feel good.
Kilroy NBC plays all the replays. So, I'm on the West Coast. I'm used to this. I'm used to watching everything a full day behind or watching it on like Twitter.
I know, but they're being copyright crazy. People were sharing and critiquing, and the company was giving. There were so many false DMCA claims. NBC or whoever's managing is just like, no, you will not ever see this footage ever again.
We are the same, Greg. We are the same, even though they can't swim in the river, which made me laugh. But let's be real. Would you swim in the Willamette? Would you swim in the Ganges? Would you let's be real. I have been down to the Willamette River, which is beautiful. I wouldn't jump in that water. And I've been in a boat and looked down in that water. Well, at least near Portland. I've been fishing like more out towards Tillamook, but
people go rafting in the Rogue, but
I've seen the Rogue too. I've seen the Rogue.
Just drive far enough on the 5, you'll run right over it, or right next to it.
It's one of those funny things. And I was just explaining this to my son because he's in that explorer age. I told him you can't just jump in every body of water.
Oh yeah, no.
I have him so scared of foreign rivers right now. I made him watch a video with this is a parasite. This is what it'll do to you.
It's good to have some healthy caution.
If you're assuming... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, especially adolescents. Their brains is weird.
If you're swimming in a river in general, you're probably a few fries short of a happy meal. Oh, but I was raised in a really weird area where it's like city/country, so I know all of this, but a lot of people I'm around do not. So I think we take what we consider common knowledge for granted, because if you're from the city, you know certain things. If you're from the country, you know certain more self-reliant things.
Yeah.
It all depends on where you're from. But I had to tell my son, do not jump in any foreign body of water that isn't a pool. Have you chlorinated?
Well, I mean, you have to know your bodies of water. Like, some definitely not. Others, it's not always the worst thing ever.
All right, let me get a test piece for this. Well, it depends on where you are.
That's exactly.
We a long time, and we go every year. We go all the time. But my son and I have this weird tradition where we go to the beach during the winter. Because let's be real, it's like 70, 80 degrees here in November.
Right.
But the water is still cold.
Oh, yeah.
But we're used to it because we're from here, is what I'm trying to say. And
It's true versus, yeah.
There was one guy I'll never forget. He walked up to me with a wetsuit, and he's like, I'm from Oregon. And I was like, you should be used to this water.
You don't go into the water without a wetsuit in Oregon. Most of it's so cold.
I learned that surfing. That's where I learned to wear a full thermal suit.
Right, even down in Crescent City, which is actual Northern California, the water's still cold.
I agree, Greg Bryant. I agree. I have a couple of times. It's not fun. The river tries to carry you away. You can't just chill out like in a hot tub, and it's way colder than a hot tub. But a lot
Yeah.
of people do not. I'm not saying this to be funny. I was so shocked. In the Oregon, well, I'm so sorry, in the northern Oregon area, how every summer people were drowning in mass, and it's like, dude, you lived your whole life next to this river. Wouldn't you know not to jump in? Like, it just was always weird to me.
Well, it's true, and you have to be. They say like to not turn your back on the ocean in Oregon, and it's true. Like sneaker waves take out like at least one person a year. Like you, yeah. They don't call them sneakers for nothing.
It always trips me out because even not being from that area, but again, back then all I had was rabbit ears, so I was really informed because I was watching the news all the time.
Fair.
And up north, you guys actually have news where they say, hey, this and this happened on this street, and you're like, hey man, I live 5 streets from there.
No, that's what I got the pulse point for. I got the local app that's every time that. But I've always lived near ambulance to EMT stations, and with the last time there was a fire, they didn't get the emergency broadcast. So I like check: is there a car fire with vegetation on the highway, or things like that.
Hey, Greg Bryant, to answer what you're saying, I've been to like France is actually a great place to visit.
I'm going to have to use the caveat. The France that we visited, from what I'm seeing, is not the France of today, and I would be a little bit more cautious now.
Oh, good, of course. Okay, let's be real. My reference is from 1998, 1999.
Right. That's not the Paris of today.
Let's be real. Oh, that's why I want to go to Miami. I could actually enjoy a beach if I was looking down on it from a hotel room.
Yeah.
They've actually cracked down on tourism in southern Florida. They've told people to stop coming to I think it's what's that one place where everyone goes for spring break? Is it
Palm Springs or Venice Beach? No, that's the California
Palm
one.
Beach?
Something.
Wherever anyone goes, they have this new campaign of you can't spring break here, and it's so hardcore that the locals have teamed up with the cops.
Well, didn't they do the same thing in Greece too? There's a couple places in Europe that were like, we're sick of, or in Spain there was one too, in Barcelona maybe.
And they're also
like
doing it in Mexico. They're doing it in Mexico too right now in Mexico. Because people from America are coming with, the dollar is worth 9 times more, and they're buying property. And like Mexico City is like a little America now.
Right.
And so all the people who are from there are like, wait a minute.
Go home. Gringos, go home.
It's like that everywhere. Puerto Rico. I speak Spanish, so I watch the news. Like it's like that in Puerto Rico too. Americans have gentrified Puerto Rico. Okay, that's one problem I noticed. I had to move the feed dog. But that's more of a use problem. I'd go in the fall. In the fall, you go to the libraries, museums, etc., without having to dodge loads of snotty kids. That's so true. That's like my town in a weird way. All the kids come home for college from like November to, they come home. It's really weird. My town changes.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's cheaper to go. Like if I go to the ocean, I try to go during the off season because it's 20% less expensive for lodging. Though you just have to be cautious because one of the roads is prone to avalanches in the winter time. So.
I'm sure the country is fine. The people are the problem. Greg, you have an English appreciation of the French. And it is Daytona. It is Daytona. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if we're talking about Europe, it's the Never. We we might get contentious if I open my mouth too much. So I'll just get back to.
It's not that I'm not political. Okay, this is my thing. It's not that I'm not political. It's just that everyone is welcome here, regardless of your political view.
Right.
But the problem is, if we start talking about religion and politics, that's when people start fighting.
I know, and I'm like, I'm not. I can't deal with, like, I have some strong opinions, but I'm just like, I just want to hang out, and so I could.
Same.
Like
I've heard from people who have traveled to the Middle East and say that the place they felt most terrified was wow.
I've seen the same thing. Yes. Yeah, it's crazy. And what is up? Okay, here's a question that kind of bridges those two things. That's differently neutral, but whatever. What's up with France needing security support from Qatar? I don't understand this one. Food fight. Yes.
It's all politics. It's all politics.
Yes, that could alley a food fight. A hot dog. It's not a sandwich. It's a wrap. In soup, cereal is a soup.
Ollie knows how to trigger me. Triggered. Okay, then I'm going to ask this for the gajillionth time. What is a taco?
A sandwich. Because it's between two pieces of something. I don't that. Yeah.
What is it classified as? Okay, I see problems with this sewing machine.
I hear problems, and I'm not even that good with my supersonic diagnostic ears.
Oof. We need to try that again.
Hey, you didn't electrocute yourself, so things are not going like the most horribly. Oh, that was almost my finger I cut though. Oh.
I'm openly racist against the French in the world. I make no excuses. You would have hated the trip that I took to the Doctor Who experience. Which was in Cardiff. It was in Cardiff.
My answer is even simpler. It's the human race. I dislike everybody equally.
That's a Slayer line. That is literally a line in a song.
I'll take whatever.
You can't tear that out of me. No segregation, separation, just me and my world of enemies. I know way too much Slayer. Sorry. I could sit here and sing that whole album. The Olympic Committee is corrupt as hell. They were hardliners on no computer games in the Olympics until the Saudis cut them a big check, then adding computer games events to the next Olympics. Yeah, I agree on that. I'll totally agree on that. A taco.
Are you gonna start training?
Again, that's a sport. Like, when I have tech problems, I come to my son, especially like with my phone. I'm like, something's wrong. I need your help.
All the days that you turned into that boomer.
He knows what he's doing though. He's helped me out.
Right.
A taco can't be a sandwich due to one side being closed. A sandwich is open edge. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't ask me what a taco is. I'm not mature enough to handle that question. Greg, you are much appreciated. That made me laugh. I say that sometimes in board meetings and stuff, because these people have known me my whole life, and they're like, dude, you still look like you did, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I am not mature enough to answer that. No laugh, because I'm in a room of 60 and 70-year-olds. On a fun note, my wife has become a thrift shop picker manic. I was complaining until she brought me home a Juki 563 clone. What? How come that never happens where I live?
Because you don't live in Pakistan. I mean, I'm sorry, my Canadian friends.
Absolutely, David. I'm more interested in David and Davis. I'm more interested in the Juki 563 clone. That never happens around here, ever. That never happened. I don't hate equally. I rank people. Wales and France are on the For the record, here in the House of Sewing, we love the Welsh. They're great, welcoming people, and they were really nice to this 150-pound skinny kid I knew. 145, maybe. They were really nice to me. It's so crazy. She could barely get into the car. Oh, that never happens. Didn't Phoenix, weren't you saying last week or the other week you found someone found a 404 on a bridge or something?
Oh, yes. Yes, because that was 2 weeks. I don't know. Some weeks ago, I saw on Craigslist somebody was giving away a 401A in the table for free, and I almost was like, I really love the aesthetics. And then somebody I know texted me a picture. It's like, oh, I found this on the bridge on my walk. It didn't have the pieces. I don't know if it worked, and they aren't fixers of machines, so I don't know what happened to it. But yeah, completely random. People do find sewing machines on the side of the road.
That's so.
Happen.
I found one, but it was a Singer signature. It was a modern machine. I found one, so and it was like near a homeless encampment. It was. And someone made a life decision, and I gave that sewing machine a good home.
It's not a dog or a kid.
You keep going to the old ladies that just died thrift shops. That's how you got to figure out which thrift shops get stuff from random businesses that go out of business. I want to go to those auctions. Is where I want to go.
What I keep hearing some people talk about this shop in Southern California, Remainders. Is this a shop you've ever been to?
No, but to Google. Let's find out. Spelled as is. It's spelled Remainders.
I think so.
Okay, I'm pre spell check.
I should not have done this. I may regret or Will might regret his life choices momentarily, and I just enabled. Oh, I try so hard not to do that.
Oh, it's in Pasadena. Little old lady from Pasadena. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh no! Wait! Oh no! Damn it!
Ooh. The prices are color coordinated, and most things are under $5. Ooh.
Oh no! Oh no!
Little old lady from Pasadena.
The beast did not need to be awakened by my foolishness.
Auctions are next level addictions. I know someone who used to go to the LAX auctions of all the people who left their stuff at the airport.
Oh God, that sounds amazing.
It was my uncle, who I don't like, but he has awesome habits. He gave my mom this shawl from India that in America is like a couple $1,000s. He got it for $10.
A shawl or like a sari?
I don't know what the big.
You don't even know the word is.
Big thing she wraps around, and like every time she Googles it, it's worth a bunch of money. Cardiff isn't Wales. They don't speak the nonsense language. It's an English city in Wales. Fair, but to be fair, they all speak English. Well, not all. I got dumped out at an auction once. She said I scared her. I was told I went through this weird phase of buying lockers that's when I had old money hanging out with me, but like people would say that we were intimidating, but it's because we would sit there and smoke like Patty and Selma.
Right, because you could, and you did.
We were in the back just smoking. That's back when you could smoke in public.
Right. Before it was an ostracized habit.
Oh, this is a long time ago. Oh, do they even have real auctions in Southern California? It seems to me they'd have some really crappy auctioneers there. The Cali accent doesn't let. Okay. So, contrary to popular belief, they do they do have auctions here, and we do have auctioneers. Give me 500, 500, 500, 400, blah, 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 blah. With enough espresso, I could do it. I miss going to auctions, but like, let's be real. I don't need like a moving van or like an RV, or you find the craziest stuff at these auctions.
I don't know. I could use an RV. Put the
I
cats in
was.
it during fire season and just hop around.
Did you ever watch Storage Wars?
Yo, yeah, and I watch Storage Wars Canada.
I wish I could do that for a living. I wish that I could just go around buying lockers, and I would have fun picking through everything. Because for me, it's the fun. For me, it's
the
discovering.
thrill of the find, yeah.
Oh, I live for that. That's why I went to a thrift store today. I was literally listening to you in the car driving down the freeway, and I'm like, I am so addicted to this.
All right, I will definitely send you the link next Saturday.
I'd fit right in with Patty and Selma. We definitely were the smoking section. If anyone from Wales is watching this in the future and takes issue, I would just like to say that shit talking is a benefit of being able to win a war with England's skill-ish. Yikes. That's some old, that beef is so old, I can't even. That's
Yeah,
back to the moon,
not my
baby.
people, not my beef.
Let's see. It's in North Central Pasadena. Little
Okay.
old lady from
Pasadena. Do, do, do.
now I have discovered a new place to go to.
Sorry.
That's not a bad thing.
Oh,
And it's
maybe I'll just
white.
actually I should try it on and see if I need a filler here or how it. But we're not going to do that right now. You'll find out tomorrow what I decide to do for the show. All
You know
right,
what's so
that
funny?
shirt.
I have a really I have a brother who married well. He married really well. And this store is near his yuppie side of the Pasadena, where all the $1 million houses are. That is so funny. I know exactly where this store is.
Okay.
Well, it's on the route of the Rose Parade, and those houses start at it's outrageous prices. Outrageous prices.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, that's funny. I know that whole neighborhood.
Okay, well, now you've got something else to do while you're busy. Hey, can I come visit? Wink, wink, not, not.
Oh, that place. So this place is popular?
I heard some sewing YouTubers talk about this place, and I was like, well, I haven't heard you talk about this place yet.
I really do not necessarily go towards that side of town. How did your Welsh ex dump you, Grant? This store is affordable. Pasadena is not. Pasadena, like, I'm not kidding you. That's where kids who go to private, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. On the West Coast, we all went to public school. Rich, middle class, lower class, it doesn't matter. We all went to public school. So here, if you went to private school, we look at you like you're super hoity-toity. And that's that entire area.
Yeah.
They have like Catholic church kind of money there.
Oh, God.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding.
I don't know. I believe you. It's
my brother
not my
lives
family's wealth.
He lives in a 2-bedroom house, and it's probably worth like $10 or $15 million.
Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. And it's from like the 1910s or something crazy, but still, it's a 2-bedroom house.
Right.
And it's something like it's something unreal. And behind his house is literally a 15-bedroom mansion.
Oh, great, because that's where people destroyed beautiful architecture for shit.
Pasadena is crazy. Anytime you drive through Pasadena, you're like, are these apartments? They're houses. They look like apartment blocks, but they're literally just giant 1970s huge houses. I wouldn't date a Welsh. So I stick to my people, the middle class people on my side. No, it's like, and it's not even a dig on that side of town. I used to hang out there a lot because my brother has always lived over there. And it's a very different side of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's where the real rich people live. If these humble hovels are going for a mill, a mat, like those houses are unreal.
Yeah.
And all because of sunshine, and we can grow food in our backyard.
Well, that's assuming you got it. You can sometimes grow food if you can afford the water.
Do you know what's so funny? I'm so glad you brought that up. That's an amazing segue. Kilroy in a comment said that someone's going to call the water police on me, and that's kind of real where I live.
I do. I'm sure it is.
Because I want to say pre-plague, people were literally peeking over fences and telling on each other because of water usage.
Oh, so they already like primed you to be like, it's okay to say if your neighbor is not complying.
I was actually shocked that somebody tried to publicly shame people and everyone else shamed that person. So we're not there, at least in my neighborhood. They're still for the people, which was shocking because I live in yuppie land. It's not the sunshine, it's because you guys are allergic to building apartment blocks.
Oh, who wants to live in an apartment block? I like my house, even though I rent it. But
no, we really don't have we do, but not like on the East Coast. We really don't have apartment blocks. Not like what people imagine. On the West Coast, it's houses, condos, and it's more spread out.
well, until they put in, what is it that they were going to do? Those like the homeless Hilton that they're going to take $600,000 to renovate. What is it, an office building or a hotel? Some space.
Even with I was having this conversation yesterday. Even with all the renovations and everything, our problem is not infrastructure; it's the amount of people.
Oh yeah.
And so no matter how much we built, we have over I think like 200,000 people that live on the streets here in Los Angeles. So it's disproportionate to how fast we can build, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally just having this conversation yesterday.
Oh, sorry, I'm a day late.
No, it's okay. Me and my Russian buddy, we hug each other when we see each other. We start talking about hockey, and then it goes to life, and then it always goes to like the surrounding area.
Right, and that's when you shake your head and you say, "Suko bliat."
Well, you know, people move here with moxie, and they wonder why everybody else doesn't have that moxie. If you know what I'm saying.
Right. But he'd probably laugh if you just yelled out "Suko" randomly.
He's super scared. Like, he's a whole other conversation. He's such a good guy. Like, when the war started, I had to tell, like, I walked in, he was so scared. I was like, bro, I love you. Like, you don't have, like, Americans are not what you think they are.
Right, not all of them. I know, it's so hard because that land was so disputed. Like, my family came from there, and, like, every 50 years, it was like, we moved the border again. No, you're not Russia. You're Ukraine. You're whatever. It's so... That land has been run rampant for so many years.
Where I live, people are coming from around the world, and I really don't like. It's weird. I really don't talk politics at my job. There used to be somebody who was from Palestine and someone who was from Israel. They were best of friends. Their kids grew up, and I'll tell you why. It's because they spoke the same language. Then they come to America where we don't. So they became friends because they could speak over each other, you know, like over everybody else.
True, it's fair. I was listening to an interview with some of that individual, and he was saying I can't remember where in the world he was, but it was in certain areas. There's, like there's the Sunni and the Shia, and then there's tribes, and the people who were a part of the tribe, if you asked them, like, who are you going to be more loyal to, another Sunni or Shia or to this particular tribe, every one of them was like, tribe first.
Way back in 1854, the Canadians, where I live fought in the Crimean War and retired to the area. They fought for Russia for the Russian Tsar era.
Mm-hmm.
People who aren't from America think Americans are either suburban pricks from Indiana, pricks from New York City, or pricks from it's so true.
Yeah. America, the land of pricks.
There's a movie with I can't remember his name. But they're from Oregon. And whenever they go somewhere, they're like, "You guys from California, right?" And they're like, "No, we're from Oregon." But
The redheaded stepsister of
it made me. I
California
can't
and
remember.
Washington.
Orlando Bloom, I think, is in the movie, and Susan Sarandon. It's just a funny movie, but the entire time, everyone's like, "That's close to California," and they're like, "Kind of, but it's not. We're from Oregon."
Right. It depends on where and where. That is true, Allie. There's a Canadian. Oh, the Canadian War Cemetery in Crimea from 1854. Yes, times do change.
Cities are too crowded. Remote workers are the answer. Cheap houses in the flyovers.
True, but what are they? I just saw they were using AI power robots controlled from another country to like stock shelves in is it New York? Somewhere. It was like they were paying these people like $3.50 in South Korea to stock shelves in an American store.
So Isaac Asimov was right, and iRobot is happening right now.
I quite possibly.
I read the book before I saw the movie, but I'll tell you, if robots do take over, I have a gas can and a motorcycle in a shed, and I will come so fast out of that shed with my motorcycle, just like the movie. Just like the movie.
My car does not have a computer in it, and I'm going to keep it that way for as long as possible.
That's why everyone asks me why I refuse to get rid of my 88. It's because, okay, I've been going to Vegas a lot lately. In my last trip, I drove the brand new 2023 Toyota RAV4. If the car feels that you're swerving, it corrects you.
Yeah.
If it slows you down, it slows you down no matter what. If it feels you're going too fast.
No, I don't like these external ways that things are controlling humans. It makes me uncomfortable, and I don't like it.
I think remote work is a bubble. More and more people are getting called back into offices. That's very true. Especially where I live. If you can do office work, you don't move to LA though.
Right. We got 3 million problems, and you don't need to be one of them.
Well, like honestly, I even feel like this when I move places. It's a matter of population after a while, you know.
True.
Companies are fighting tooth and nail. Most people do not need to show up to work. I have a disability. My nervous system. I can't use touchscreen biometric items. They eventually have to be fixed due to me. I agree. I'm like looking at my fingerprints. I think one of the reasons the future is so scary is because a lot of the things that we look at were used as evil things in science fiction movies.
Are turning true.
Or like, and I'm not for or against, or like getting a RDIF chip or something like that. Do you know in Norway and Sweden, there are people that have had chips in their hands for over 15, 20 years. That's how they get into work. That's how, you know what I'm saying? It all depends where you live.
And I'm not interested.
Neither would I. I'm just saying it's out there, and it's been out there. And they would literally have to pin me down to do it. But I'm just saying, like I said, I'm not for it.
No, I may or may not be the person on the dark alley who would be like, do you need that removed for you?
It's the mill amp that does it. I think any Apple iPhone and I touch any Apple iPhone and it needs to be rebooted right away. AI is a
Oh,
lie.
it's-
Anything that moves requires energy. Humans are still way cheaper than robots. I build automated machines for a living. Okay.
Okay.
With that being said, though, computers here in Los Angeles, where I live, we call computer screens robots. They have replaced the workforce. As somebody who was in college and worked at Carl's Jr., Subway, Starbucks, except for Starbucks, computers have taken over the industry as far as fast food goes. So if you're some
Mhm.
down on the luck 19-year-old kid, you can't even work for these places anymore because a robot's going to replace you. At least you
Ugh,
can't have you and 4 of your friends.
right.
That like
Well,
so
this is
here where I live, that's what we call AI because McDonald's was demanded to pay people a living wage, and they put robots in every single one of their stores, which is basically touch screens. But where I'm from, we call them robots. End of my TED talk. Thank you for coming. Science fiction died decades ago when people started treating it as prophecy. That's so true.
maybe that's why. Oh,
But if you think about
yeah.
it, 1950s futurism was the same way. They all thought we would be in bubble helmets, floating on the moon, having this conversation in some like cool car, and none of that happened. That future definitely did not happen.
No, oh my God. But the other day I was driving home and I did have my first in real life with my real eyes Cybertruck sighting. I was like, what the actual what did I?
I saw, yay, hello, Pam, hello.
Yeah.
Today I called it booger green, but it was one of those like translucent green Cybertruck. But it was the first non-gray one that I've seen. I should have took a picture of it.
I have not seen that one. How did your pants turn out, Pam?
It's eventually going to come back to bite them. The newest war front is the cyber front. The touchscreens are going to get hacked. I agree. I think it's cruel. Like when I was younger, like working in those places really helped me out. I worked at a Carl's Jr. I'm not shy to say, man, they gave me a skill and sent me around the country. Around the Pacific Northwest. They sent me for all the way from Oregon to Texas to Reno, back up to Oregon. So they're great people. With the same job, and they gave me benefits and everything. But I was a kid, is what I'm trying to say. A child. I was like 19, 20 years old. A computer doesn't know what words mean. It's just an Ansel battery code to a computer.
Yeah.
Hey, Pam, hello. I'm curious too. I was cleaning and then I got the bug and left my house and went and bought a ton of stuff.
Stuff.
If your output is images on a screen, you can be replaced by a robot. If it requires physical movement, you will not be. Cars, look at cars. Cars were all built by people, and now they're built by robots.
Yeah. My job isn't trying to be replaced by robots, but AI is coming for it, and I refuse to participate.
Would you be an anti-farming? Would you be against a farming robot? I have this conversation all the time. I kind of want to live like how they did on Picard. Sit on the grotto while the robots do all the work. I don't know if I'd have a problem with that.
I don't know, but there's some because then you just get fat and lazy. There's something about like smelling the soil and like touching grass and all those like.
You know what though? I went up a
old-fashioned
tax
things.
bracket and all I did was lean in on my hobbies. I didn't get any new crummy ones. I just made a ton more clothes. Like some people, I guess it's choice in life,
Yep.
How's it going, Dove?
He said, "How's it going?" He heard you. They all heard you. He's doing good.
Awesome. But you're right. It's how people spend their time too.
Oh, sorry for coughing into the
Everybody thought automation was good until it started coming for the holy white collar workers. Now it's a bad thing. I think that's part of I don't know. I wrestle back and forth with that because I'm for forward progression. But
go
I'll
ahead.
tell you, I watched this a convention. I'm addicted to watching sewing machine videos, even if I don't speak the language. And I was watching this convention. One was in Japan and one was in Saudi Arabia. And they have a machine where you talk into it and it sews for you. I couldn't have that because that takes me out of the process.
Yeah,
Like you literally put the cloth in and it sews, it does everything for you.
no, I already don't love my baby lock that has a computer in it. We fight so much. And the parts are not good.
I need to find the footage of that. I'm into machinery. Excuse me. I'm from the Mr. Rogers generation. I love watching people in factories.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I love those videos, but like some of these machines, I'm like, oh, where's the person in that? So there's
Yeah.
machines that already replace people as far as sewing goes. I gotta find that video.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick to sewing the way I sew.
All AI is automation of white collar work.
Yeah, and it just is increasing the managerial class by like, oh, we've got more headache. Oh, did you test it this way? Blah, blah, blah. I was going to say something smart and it ran out of my head. This looks shitty.
The managerial class, at least from my world, is a bunch of people who got really lucky in life. They're
Right?
lucky to be there and should kiss the ground every day.
From one to no one.
we can automate simple tasks. We have been for nearly a century. You still need a farmer for the complicated parts. I agree. I have this conversation all the time at work. But what if there was a drone? I saw this on a 3M commercial and I was like, oh, what if there was a drone that would farm for you? Would you participate?
No. And it's complicated. No, ethically, morally, the idea of it, I just don't like it. But the more important, in the short-term pressing question is, I couldn't freaking afford that. The only people who can afford that are these giant monocrop farming conglomerate corporations, and I don't want to support them.
But the thing that gets people is that it would be the same as having a crew, and then you wouldn't have a crew. You just have a technician to fix your machines.
Oh, so you're saving all the labor costs.
And you'd go from a millionaire to a billionaire because man. I'm not even saying this to be a secret. Grow alfalfa or hay, and it will change your life if you have the space to do it. And that's not even a secret, at least where I live. AI is also not intelligent. It's just central computing. It still costs energy to use it. It would cost too much to have it replace even the jobs it could.
Right, and all these lithium ion, like the batteries, the tech, that we don't have the talented skill set of humans. Like, you need enough humans to initially make the machines to be able to know how to fit. Like, at least in this country, we don't have that industrial production base anymore, I don't think.
Well, here on the West Coast, we still, people talk all this trash about California, Oregon, but we feed America in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we do, which is weird because where are they stealing our water from?
The West Coast, most of California is farmland. For anyone who needs to know that, who doesn't know that already.
Right.
So what about this? Okay, we talk about this all the time. Would you own, this would take my job in a way. This would really put me in the office. Would you own a self-driving tractor?
Fuck no. I'm sorry.
Really, I would never have to go outside again. If you give me a screen and a self-driving tractor, but again, I like being on the tractor. I like waving at the bus drivers when they honk at me.
Oh my god, you would like this book. Is it Andrew? Let me find this book that we're reading on Kindle Unlimited. It is.
I would build it. I
kind of like this a little bit in this. Androne. 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 by Dwayne. I don't know how to say it. I'm too dumb. DWAINWORRELL. 2-book series.
Oh,
Pretty
please don't call
good.
yourself dumb, because if you're dumb, then there's no hope for the rest of us.
I've been terribly self-deprecating because I've been uncomfortable in my skin, so usually I'm like body shaming myself.
Same.
But
No, I do
you
this.
know, a
I
little
do.
old-fashioned boomer body depression era body shaming from folks who did it. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you're just fat.
Programming a machine to do simple tasks is not easy as people think it is. I just have
No.
International Harvester stuck in my head now. On my International Harvester. And yes, I listen to all kinds of music, even modern, trashy country.
But the programming is true. A chap I follow over in the Rumble land is currently programming and alpha testing a Discord /Gilded/ whatever's out there alternative, and he live streams the building of this thing. It's not terrible. I like it, but I'm simple, so I'm like, it only does simple things, so I'm great. I'm cool with it. If you want some like a fully functional Gilded, it's not that yet, but if you're interested, just let me know and I can drop a link.
I'm down.
All right, let me.
On my trips, I've been finding all these really weird antique stores out in the middle of the desert.
Ooh.
I think I need a vacation intervention because I haven't gone out for 4 years. And this year was the first time in 4 years I started going out, and I forgot how much I loved it. Now that I don't drink or gamble, I have had a great time in Vegas every time I've gone.
Right.
And there's no like drive home of shame besides the fact that I drive home with like 3 or 4 sewing machines. And that's another thing. Because of where I live, when I go to Vegas, the gas is cheaper and everything at the Goodwills are affordable.
Like you don't have, what is it, up like 13% sales tax?
Exactly, and they don't have that. And the last time I went, they have this thing where if you give them your email, which let's be real, like your information is, I gave them my email that everybody has.
Right. That email.
And then every Goodwill I went to, everything was half off.
Ooh.
I went crazy.
Our Goodwills have been, though, or at least the most localist one, have switched so that there's like one color that's 50% off, but then another color that's 75% off. I'm like, but then this stuff has been, well, besides the folklore pattern, French pattern that I didn't need, that was $2.50, and this new cutting mat, it was not a good day at the Goodwill.
Seriously, don't feel bad if I told you how much money I spent today at the I don't even want to say the name of it because it doxes me kind of, because it's not in my area, but it's over the hill. But long story short, I lost my brains in there. I spent a lot of money. Even the kid at the counter was like, "This is way more than
sure,
you
sir?" Oh God! When the clerk is like, "Are you sure you're okay, good sir?"
You live in the third most expensive place. I did not know that. On the planet, of course, things are gonna be cheaper. It's insane. When I go to Vegas, everything, like, I feel like it's like 30 years ago. Everything is cheap. But I don't know. I don't know if I could live there. I've had this conversation with everybody because everyone I talk to, they're like, "Could you live there?" I don't know. Could you live somewhere where it gets 110 on average, 115?
Yeah, it doesn't happen on average, but it does happen here episodically.
And then during the winter, it's like 24 with the wind chill at night.
Yeah, no, I know what living in a desert is like.
I went there one time during February, and I don't know why I was so shocked. It was the coldest February. It was like 24 with the wind chill. It was crazy in Vegas that year.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with no. I would want to be up in the hills a little bit more because of that same issue that we have mutually, and it's called water.
You know what's so funny? I had this conversation with one of the MMA dads. He's from Vegas, and that's the first thing he brought up. He was like, "Where are they going to get their water 50 years from now?"
Yeah,
That was literally, and he's from there.
right? Are they going to desalinate the Pacific and build a giant clean water desalinated pipeline? Are they just going to use oil pipeline technology to pipe in water to Vegas?
It's just like Phoenix in America. It's how useful you are, and they'll do anything they can to get water to Phoenix because there's millions and millions and millions of dollars there to be had. So it's about money, and it always has been, and there's in it, and you know, it always will be.
It's true, and I'm just thinking about this because they're already doing this in like Qatar and Dubai and UAE. The thought just come into my brain holes.
Well,
And
again,
that other scene.
also like in Saudi Arabia right now, they're building this giant garden mirrored city out in the middle of the desert because they have the money to.
I know they got FU money to burn for.
When I saw the plans for that, I was like, "This is so Jetsons," but it just doesn't include us.
Well, it
Like,
could.
you could
we
go
get
live
jobs
there.
as tailors there and live on the beach.
I know someone that lived in Dubai, and he was naturally arrogant. But you'd ask him a question, he like in Dubai, they don't pay for gas.
Right, because
But I thought it was arrogant when he said that. I was like, "How much was gas?" He was like, "We don't pay for gas," and I'm like, "Oh, that's arrogant. Oh, that's arrogant."
things are, yeah.
They're
Oh,
to use
interesting
pipelines,
theory.
just that pipelines are short. There's a lot of money to be made doing that, especially where I live. If you're a pipe fitter or if you know how to weld, there's a lot of money to be made doing that. All right, this sewing machine is going to get put on the back burner. I'm really going to have to take this thing apart, but act normal when you see it on Friday Sews.
This was really the first time we saw this machine. How glorious.
I talk about that all the time. Like when YouTubers say something's easy, they have 20 years experience. If they were like, "Oh, I figured it right out," that means they're on take 75.
Right, I know. That's why I hate. Well, partly in the time of editing, and I just don't have the patience. But for your are you? So there's what is it? Eclipse that's not spelled the way you expect it to. It's and something else that you can upload your live stream to, and the AI will pick out sections to create shorts from it.
I have never heard of that. Like, I'm such a dinosaur. I still make crummy thumbnails. I am.
Oh, I still do too. I haven't figured out on GIMP how to do like a drop shadow yet, but
You can't have our water because you decided to build a few cities with millions of people in the freaking desert.
yeah.
But Las Vegas, just that one, and Vegas is tiny if you really think about it, because you can go to the top of a hill and see the entire city. It's crazy if you go towards Henderson. But my whole point is they pay for the entire state of Nevada.
Yeah.
Nevada has no sales tax. There's like all these advantages because of that one place.
Well, Oregon doesn't have sales tax either. But we got our own other problems.
I paid a bunch of money at the end of the year in taxes, though.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to do my taxes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I had a really weird boss who was like, "Oh, you're young, claim this and this," and I didn't realize that the IRS was going to be like, "You don't have any of this." Good times. Good times. Portland, Oregon, gem of America. Absolute gem.
Ugh. Speak for yourself.
I lived there for 4 years.
I know. That was of all the places I've lived in. The few times I have to be up there or had to be up there, I drove like twice, and it's so freaking confusing that I'm like, I'm just gonna fly and take the transit because I 100% with most of my being detest driving in Portland. I prefer driving in Seattle compared to driving in Portland.
When I got used to driving in Seattle, it was okay. They have a whole different way.
They do it, but now I don't want to drive up there because they put a toll on the 405. Like, they
What?
just make it so. Oh yeah, there's a yes. Yeah, the only bridge that goes from the east to the west end of Lake Washington, they put a toll over that bridge. So you either pay the toll or you drive all the way around the lake one way or another, depending on where you are.
Wow, are they that hard up or what? Wow. It's been a while since I've been in that area. It's been a long time. And like I said, when I used to go to Washington, we would like take a ferry to Vancouver Island and have a
I
time of our lives. It was a
wish,
different world.
yeah, that's one thing I regret that I didn't do when I was up there and closer was go to Vancouver. Closest I got was the whale watching tour where we saw the whales and we stayed on the San Juans, but
It's one of the only
somewhat.
places that I've been to that wasn't in the Caribbean where everybody had dreadlocks.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what about
funny.
Canada. Oh, good times. I wouldn't use a random AI. I wouldn't use a random AI program for anything. I know copyright stuff can get out of hand. Would the AI programmer now own rights to the altered content? Oh, Victoria's
No,
beautiful. Oh,
I'm
sorry. Go.
gonna go with no because AI generated it. Okay, take that back. Scratch that. From what I've learned and understand, there's no advice. I don't know anything. I'm a loser, baby. So
No,
why don't you?
we're
Never mind. But
nobodies. We're not losers. We're just nobodies. There's a difference. Nobody's knows stuff.
it's true. But I like that song, and it's been a while, and it just came into my head as I was singing it or saying the words. But if it's purely AI computer generated, you can't currently, from my understanding in the US, have claim copyright. But I guess there's going to be into nuances of iteration because, like, a human is putting in the prompt. So I'm confused. I don't know.
There's a whole new world of litigation and arguments to be had about AI, and that's the
A
problem.
whole new world. And lawyers are like 10 years behind, like, in medicine, what the issues are versus when good what happened when good cases come to question these, there's a lag.
Adobe updated their terms of services that they have the right to use excuse me, anything you edit with their software. Apple did the same thing. I think
Oh well,
Apple
and
owns
Microsoft is even better that if Microsoft doesn't like your words, I think Google too, they'll just like lock you out of your personal documents or change words. Like,
See, this is why I still scream at clouds. You guys make
I
fun of
use
old man screaming at
OpenOffice.
clouds. But I don't get my words don't get deleted while I scream at clouds.
Not yet, they don't.
That's one of my favorite quotes. This old man screams at clouds. Or in The Simpsons, there was one time Homer was getting interviewed, and under Homer Simpson, it said "local Yahoo." If I ever get interviewed by the news, I want that underneath.
That's gonna be your handle.
Local Yahoo. Local crazy person. The company would technically own the image it created, but they could be sued by Google Images it used to create the image. That's three lefts to make a right. See, that's why it's crazy.
Oh, that's true. Or Getty Images, because they're like copyright fiends.
They are. As somebody who just pulls random pictures off the internet,
Oh, shit, I should be more careful.
even today, I thought I posted a thumbnail. I put up my thing, and then it shows if you ever post a live stream, at least through StreamYards, and it doesn't process your picture, it shows the picture of whatever is your back screen on your YouTube.
Oh, so you got in trouble for like having your video, your other devices showing something that they were like, no, you're being bad.
Whatever image I posted offended you, and it's been a while. I clash with terms of service because I'm old school. I like a picture, I pull it. For some, like they're really hardcore about Star Trek. I'm a Star Trek geek. They're hardcore about old school butt rock like Motley Crue. I grew up on that stuff. Or like anything from certain, like if it's played on the radio all the time, it probably has a hardcore copyright on it.
Yeah, which I realize now that I've been seeing new versions of the Sewing Bee. They use way too much original artist popular music. The reason we can't see it is because their music choices. If they just put generic,
Are you talking about the
whatever.
British Sewing Bee?
Yes,
Is that why it just now started popping up on YouTube?
yes. A, I think it must be close to the end, but B, all the music they have is so like in this country the cost for the music in that program in this country would be, I can't even imagine the number of zeros.
I watched that show because I used to have a Canadian VPN, but then they cracked down on that, and I felt so lost because I saw it on YouTube. I was like, oh,
I
but
know.
it's been like 2 or 3
A
years.
hot minute.
I was addicted to that show.
I know. Now I remember why. And it's been great because now they're feeding me the great pottery throwdown, and hopefully next will be the portrait and landscape artist of the year series, unless they canceled them and I didn't know.
I really need a tour on YouTube's terms of service. They turned me down for so many. I have a really eclectic view of music. I'm pulling from all different types of genre, and they're just denying me left and right.
Well, also, there is the AI part, but some of the, well, at least it's that, because I have heard from some of the community management stuff, and whether you're saying the right words or your jokes are offensive or not, is outsourced to places where English is not their first language, and humor is language specific or culture specific, and you can learn it, but you have to be there to do it, and words.
If
Exactly.
Universal owns the song, it's over. Yeah, but they own everything. It's my whole point.
Or Rupert Murdoch.
They own everything, even really obscure punk songs from the 1980s up. They own the rights to everything.
They
Even
do
like
explain-
polyurethane. I tried to play polyurethane. They wouldn't let me do it.
That I can't speak of, but did you hear about this whole patent infringement issue about folks? So some individual in I'm going to get all the dates wrong, at some point previously copyrighted embossed embroidery on clothing items. It wasn't handbags, but just any clothing item. And
how can you enforce that though?
this person who says that the PTO granted them the patent, the patent office granted them the patent, and this person is like randomly cracking down on small sellers on Etsy and wherever, and as well as YouTube videos and such.
Uh-oh.
But
Right
they
now,
haven't come
there are...
after like Ricoma, who sells those giant industrial machines. It's very weird.
On my brother PE 535, I had a program for a K&N label, which K&N, they make filters, all kinds of stuff. But where I live, it's like a clothing item. And I made hats and I sold them to people. And no one told on me. But it was on
Yeah.
my brother PE 535. You know, I was making a bunch of stuff. It's only a patent violation if you sell it. They can only take the money if you make it. Oh, wow. Well, then I didn't make any money off of it. Those 10 people are grateful for the gifts that I gave them.
Right. This was for personal use only as gifts, and we know nothing about
Patent
nothing.
pending. But you know what's really funny? When I got into the embroidery world, I always wondered about that. But there's a ton of bootlegging going on. The person I learned from, they were making LA hats.
Right. Yeah. Well, then Nike's was cracking down with whoever that rapper was who put the blood in the vials on in the shoes.
Oh, Lil Nas X.
Oh yeah, that one.
I know exactly. You know, it's funny. I couldn't name a song. The second you said that, I know exactly who you're talking about.
You're like, we know about Nike.
Well, no, it's because the that particular individual is infamous, and there's a difference.
Yes. Right.
Well, you know, when it's national news, it's national news. Hip hop clothing is built off bootlegging clothes. Isn't that real? Well, I live in Bootleg City. Where I live, you can find a knockoff of anything, and it's so rampant. It's everywhere. That's why I'm surprised Santee Alley exists. Because I was watching this thing where in New York, people were going around busting people selling knockoffs on the street.
Yeah.
But in LA, that's everywhere. I can go get a fake Louis right now.
Get in the car and do it.
Even all that fake Fendi print and all that stuff that I have is considered illegal.
Right.
But they sell it everywhere. You can go to almost any shop in the fashion district and they'll have it in the back.
Oh my god. So when I get to go shopping down there, the question is, can I see the back room, please?
They'll let you, like, it's just not up in the front. It's blatant. It's weird to me. It's one of those things. It's like, well, jaywalking is no longer illegal where I live, but it's like one of those.
Because it was racist. Oh,
Do you know what's funny? I did not know that was real until you pointed it out. And it's so rampant now that you have to look out for people on the streets where I live. You have to, because jaywalking is legal in Southern California.
I know.
I didn't know that was, because I drive everywhere. I'm old. I'm not walking. Let's be real. I'm walking at work, and that's about it.
Right.
Oh, I should walk more.
It's fair. Same.
I know. I'm thinking about how active I used to be. Do you think that's wrong? That where I live, you can literally buy bootleg anything?
This goes into the whole AI. This goes into all these other questions.
Like right now.
It depends. No, actually, no. I don't. If you've altered it and made it interestingly yours, but parodying or copying, no, you can't outright copy. But if there's a way to make it funny, or to be like, this isn't really it. No, I don't, because I'm a big fan of open source, not proprietary products. I at my core, it's like I'm not a Marxist, but there's certain things that should be available.
Okay, so there was this preacher guy who is now in jail for 9 years. Okay, he was he's an embezzler. He's not a good person, but he got famous because he would go online and say awful things to people. He was just a bad person,
Hmm.
but all of his clothes were supposedly designer. A lot of it was bootleg. What I'm about to show you is okay. This man's clothes are fake. Okay, can you see that?
Oh,
Somebody made that suit though. Like
true.
I don't care how fake it is or not. Like look how well made his clothes are. And
Fair.
you can buy I could buy this at the swap meet, but like I could like look, somebody made that. That's a fake suit. I know this one for real is a fake suit because this is one under contention, but I'd wear that.
No, the fitting, the shoulders look nice, the arm length looks nice. Like the fit on those, yes. It, I think my
Bishop
issue would be
robbery.
like I wouldn't say like, oh, this is Dior or Mira Mira or whatever, and be like, oh, I this is it. I would be like, I was inspired by like I think the lying about it I think is where I have the issue because the fit is actually quite good.
This guy
They
was a complete fraud, but he knew how to dress.
He did. Look at this like half mutton sleeves with that fitted waistcoat with the pockets so nicely placed. Like
Somebody
that,
made all of this. And like people
yeah,
talk about it all the time. My first thought was, okay, if it's fake, then that's like top tier, top of the line fake.
yeah.
And people all like this guy's really hated. He's been nicknamed Bishop Robbery. He's not a good guy. But like this
He's got it.
jacket,
He knows a good tailor.
you can't
Yeah,
like these
I,
jackets are real. You can't fake those. But like most of his clothes were fake. I'm sorry. I'm trying to sew like whoever made those clothes, I'm trying to sew like them.
exactly. Or to fit, sew and fit, because they're different. You can sew good, but your fit can be shitty.
Well, it's because first off, my portions are way off. I am a human potato. Or I'm more like a pigeon. I'm more like a pigeon. I'm just going in all different directions. My body's doing something in the front and something in the back too.
And we don't like any of it.
Tight clothes on. I'm kind of quailish. You know that look. There was a woman in my church. She looked like a human quail
Yeah,
when I was a little kid.
especially because some of those people probably used to wear like hats with feathers in the front, like to
That's
hang them
exactly how she
off.
would dress. That's exactly. And she would sing, and my family was like the front row family, you know.
Oh, you were special. We were all in the crying room.
Well, it's because I was raised on military time, so we were always there early.
Oh no, we could still be there early, but we were still mostly relegated to the crying room.
Oh, I missed the crying room. I always thought that was the most ingenious thing. In like most old school Catholic churches, they have this giant plexiglass room where you can see the congregation, but they can't see you.
Or hear you.
I always thought that was ingenious. That's like you can go in there and make comments on the sermon in there. Like, oh man, this is boring. Let me check my notes.
Oh, I didn't.
Lately, I haven't been going all night lately because I know people have lives.
It's all good. I'm trying to get a little bit farther on the bat costume. I know some folks were at the end of my show last Sunday where that I can I talk about weirdos in my chat on here where people don't know I'm streaming with you?
No, of course
I
you
had
can.
this like weird
course you
creeper, and I think Ellie was there at the end. They were like, "Can I ask you some personal questions?" And I'm like, "No, actually, I'm confused about how to finish sewing this," which I did manage to finish sewing the garment construction. We just have the details left to finish. But it was just weird, and I was like, confused and like, no, it's like when people drop links in your chat, that's when you are like, no, thank you, unless you like solicit them, like, can you find me X, Y, or Z? But
There's etiquette
like,
to it, and most people ask. There's hardcore etiquette to that.
right, you don't like show up for the first time in a chat and be like, your first and only chat is some link to something. Like, no, that's poor form.
Really quickly, Greg Bryant, a lot of his suits were found out to be fake, but somebody just went out of their way to sew their arse off for that man. They were amazing, Taylor. And it's so funny. I haven't had I get trolls and like real life stalkers, but I haven't had a blatant chat troll in a long time. We know what's in you, Craig. I used to get somebody who would come in and say the most racist things trying to guess my race. And they would go to all these different races.
If they just sit around long enough, you could. It's not. You don't hide it.
I used to. Back when I used to talk about other subjects, I used to get all kinds of like people that would not go away. That's why I changed my format. That's why I came with a disclaimer. Like, oh no, we're gonna talk about sewing and life because y'all can't handle anything else. So I'm gonna keep it above board. And when I say y'all, I mean like the people who truly can't hang. The people like
right, because not every
I hate that when someone asks for a link. I had linked to Burnett Banners and to Abby Cox, and they got demonetized for the singer links.
What?
I did not know that.
So I'm not allowed to like show off my Singer sewing machines and sewing with them? Like, is this the words I'm hearing? All right, here, can I test this? I've got a Singer in my messy room.
Greg, your hatred for the Welsh makes me laugh so hard, and you are always welcome here. It makes me laugh. I have like been face to face with Welsh people. They were so nice. Maybe they're nicer to foreigners. Like I think it's due to the affiliate to Singer. You know what's really funny? I always wondered, how do you become a Singer ambassador? I watch all their videos. I'm subscribed to Singer. I'll admit it. I'm a shill.
No, the real question is, so Bernadette and some of these other folks are members of ICMAS and aren't disclosing it, or?
Oh gosh, I went off.
That was a different question, but sorry.
No, I went off. Do you think it's wrong for people not to disclaim when they're sponsored in halls?
Oh no, they absolutely. Technically, for the SE, there's some 3-letter agency acronym, blah blah blah. If something's sponsored or you are compensated, you are supposed to say these things. And it's coming out there's a couple of folks of different places that are not doing that.
I was about to say, I'm addicted to sewing YouTube. And I was watching a boot haul recently, and I'm like, unless you have like $3,000, there's no way someone's just gonna pop up with like all these different pairs of boots when I know these boots are like $300 or $400 each.
I don't know. Are they showing a Ko-fi or a Patreon or some other like?
It was just boot haul.
Oh shit!
And they had some Fred Munsters that I know because I kind of want them, but I know they're $300-400 boots. I haven't seen them for less than $300 or $400.
Yeah, that would have to be somehow related to work.
You said you haven't had a racist troll in a while. That hurt my Greg, I had somebody. There's someone right now who has been stalking me for almost 5 years, and it's not the person who you think it is, because if it's the person you think it is, I actually like her. It's the
well, no, because we know that one is longer, but
no, and I love her, and she inspired this entire channel.
Right?
We're talking about somebody that I met online, and that person I met in person in real life. They know I exist. My entire point is, you'd be surprised the people that 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 don't like you online.
Yeah, no, I have had to see very carefully about some like weird gaming people personality controversies and hearing all. I hear randomly two sides of a story, so I'm like, okay, then that leaves the middle, and I'm like, yeah,
One of my favorite
maybe,
sayings is there's your side, my side, and the truth.
right.
I got that from Babylon 5. Singer does send you guys. Oh, wow. I did not know that. That's so interesting. So if you're a singer ambassador, is that like okay, when you play Doctor Who, there's a conduct clause. Like you kind of have to be Doctor Who, and like if you're walking around England, you kind of have to pretend to be Doctor Who kind of. It's like literally in their contract. Peter Capaldi, who was I believe the 11th Doctor, 12th, I don't know. I'm off a little bit. But he was known for cursing in a lot of his shows. He was really foul-mouthed, and he had to sign a disclaimer that he would stop cursing on TV while he was Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's different, but that's very interesting, Ellie.
70 California got fired, and you're pushing. I could tell you horror stories about streaming. I got doxxed, and someone got arrested by my house with my address in there. In their pocket to the point where the cops came to my house and asked me about it, and I did not know the person. Capaldi was 12. Has there ever been a city that you wanted to move to, Phoenix?
I've been thinking about that. I'm not sure. I mean,
When I was a kid, I wanted to move to San Francisco, and I tried to move there like 9 different times until I was like 25 and gave up because I could never afford to live there.
seriously, well, that's a whole other issue.
This was 20. This like when I tried to live in San Francisco, this
It
was
was
like
cheap.
99. Well, I tried to move there in 99. I failed. I tried to move there in 2000. I tried to move there before I moved to Portland. And Portland, Oregon, when I lived there, was the poor man San Francisco because it had culture, but it was affordable. Keep in mind, this was, yikes, 22 years ago.
Oh, interesting.
Like right now, go to singer.com and look up the serial number. Oh, I do that all the time for a ton of machines. I'd moved to San Francisco. I did move to San Francisco. It was garbage. For some reason, San Francisco and moving to Alaska were my dreams, and I wouldn't survive the winter up north, and I could never afford to live in San Francisco because when I tried to live there, it was in the late 90s on, and that's when the tech boom happened. We all forget
Yes.
Enron. We all forget
Oh no, I don't forget Enron. That was New York, boy.
all
Human.
these. We forget all these places. They ruled back in the day, and they destroyed property value. San Jose, Silicon Valley, it's a beautiful place,
Not
but
recovered. And
it's
now they're
unaffordable.
ruining other states.
It's an extremely unaffordable place. Says the guy who lives in an unaffordable place.
Well, not everybody's got the same opportunities.
But should you apologize for privilege? San Francisco is America's France. Greg is not letting up on the French tonight.
Seriously, yeah, Eastern European. those are not my people. we speak in rubles. Oh, what was I gonna say though? Oh shit. No, train left the station, trying to thread needle.
That's okay.
Not going well. Oh, but did you finish that last of Ailey's comment? Because that's what I was like. Go to Singer.com right now and look up serial number for the date. He sent you to ISMACS now. They had 3 people that told you over the phone before 2017. These people are incompetent. You're like, of course, Sphinx is before 2017.
There's no Walmart on the peninsula, so this is an obvious sign my people are not welcome there. Hey, Native, how's it going? Great to see you. Great to see you. So San Francisco surrenders quickly. I wanted to live there so bad. It used to have culture. It used to have every restaurant you could possibly think of. I love Thai food. It's actually something I go looking for. And San Francisco had some of the best Thai food I've ever had in my life. So I'm just nostalgic for the past.
Yeah, which brings me back to the present. Do you think Newsom's order to let cities just remove homeless, I'm not going to even say homeless encampments, because of the ruling out of Oregon, and they're like starting to get ready for the Olympics? They're like, all right, everybody, you gotta, like, you're out of here, out of sight, out of sight.
That's exactly what they're doing. It happened in Atlanta in '96. I watched this guy named Bobby Hemmett, and you could hear him talking about it in the early '90s, but he's more of a conspiracy theorist. But all the homeless people disappeared in Atlanta overnight. It's because there was a coordinated effort, and they cleaned up Atlanta before the Olympics.
Right. So, do you have an opinion about the Nathan Hochman Gascon County Attorney General race?
No, not really, because where I live, everything kind of stays the same. It's sad. I live in a lot
Okay,
of
so
the
not
stuff that people talk about doesn't necessarily affect me because I don't live. Even with, like, the image that they have of Los Angeles is not even real. Like, when they show these devastated areas, they're doing circles around the same block over and over. Same with, like, Philadelphia, New York. I don't know. I have a different opinion because I like, especially downtown LA. I go down there all the time. The fashion district is dying. It's sad to see all these places going out of business, but it's actually weirdly safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I don't know. I almost bought a French rifle from Lord Never.
That's funny. That's dark, but that's funny. Oh, that poor 18-year-old. Oh.
I don't know.
There's a lot I don't know. And some random stuff I do.
Oh, today I was watching, I'm kind of over all the politics and all the hatred and everybody has for each other. Every 6 months, I purge my YouTube. I get rid of all the Cheesemate channels. I get rid of all the Debate Bros because I'm not that kind of person. I love watching it, but I've learned to not participate. One day I will learn not to. But my whole point is I was watching the 4th Star Trek today, and it made me laugh that, because they're supposedly from the future, and they were talking about, they're like, okay, and I don't know why I never really paid attention to this, and it's hilarious. They're like, okay, in the past, they cursed with every other word. And so, like, Spock is like, give me a damn minute. Give me a damn this or that. And it just makes me laugh because that, like, people are going to look back at us and say that. If you ask people, I speak different languages. If you ask people, what slang do you want to learn? They always want to learn our curse words.
Oh, no, I like to learn other people's curse words, which is...
But that's people who don't speak our language.
Right. They're universal.
Ask the average Californian, What Spanish words do you know? They're gonna curse you out and not even know it because they're just gonna say all the curse words.
No, punta's not really a curse word.
Well, to old grandmas, that'll get you slapped across the face, you know.
My Spanish, actually, I've been practicing because I've had folks I could interact with who could laugh at my terrible Spanish, but I joke the words I know is ¿Dónde está el baño? Yo necesito algunos más comida y yo necesito alguno más cerveza, por favor.
Your Spanish is better than people who are Hispanic descendant and from America. Because I deal with a lot of people, and your Spanish is better than third or fourth generation people.
No, and I only know like school Spanish is not Central South American Mexican Spanish. It's Catalina from Spain. I speak slow Spanish.
You want to destroy an AI prompt, feed it some Sopranos. Do you know what's so funny? I loved for all the things that I loved that show.
I've actually never seen it.
I bought I bought
CC.
I bought the entire there a long time ago, kids. There was this place called Blockbuster, and when they went out of business, me and my predecessor and my ex-wife went insane, and we purchased half of an old Blockbuster in my town. I mean, we bought the shelves. I bought whole seasons of Sopranos, Battlestar Galactica, all the geeky stuff I was into. I still have posters. Man, Blockbuster was going out of business, and there was no way I was not leaving there without half their stuff. And I waited till like the second to last day where things were like a quarter.
Oh, right. Like things have been picked over, but I don't need to go in the beginning stages. It's gonna be a 1 week sale. I'm gonna wait 2 days. It'll be fine. But you always go day one to like scope out the scene of like, is there something that I like have to get now that I'm like, this might not be here.
That is true. I did buy a Star Trek poster like when I walked in there when I saw the clearance sale.
Yeah, it's.
I ate grilled cheese off the radiator. It's a fantastic show, but they use that word in every possible context. Naive atheist, slow cooked grilled cheese. You guys are making me crave grilled cheese.
No, tomorrow's breakfast is jalapeno tuna toasty, which is French toast with egg whites baked in the oven. It's like a tuna melt, but no butter, no none of the fat, all the goodies.
Then it's not a melt. That's just.
Yes, it is. It's in the oven. It's cooked. It's toasted. It's not fried, but it's got butter flavor. There's jalapenos in the tuna.
I still go to hot dog stands where like one hot dog is the caloric intake for like 2 or 3 days. Get a chili dog or like a chili. There's this one place I go to. I order a chili dog, and I'm not kidding you. It's at least 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, I don't. No, folks don't do that where I live.
That's the one thing about Los Angeles that people don't talk about is that we still have vendors on the like we still have hot dog stands, we still have like old school Americana, but it makes you huge Americana.
Yeah, right. Tú es no flaca, tú es muy gordo.
Oh, there's no flacos around here. Even that's another misconception about Southern California.
It is a misconception.
We are not all buff. Right now, I look like I'm about 2 or 3 months pregnant right now.
Shit. Human. Oh, thank you for letting me practice. I've been trying to practice my bad Spanish to be more relatable where I live.
You said
'cause-
cheese toasty, and I'm fighting all of you. You do not grill the cheese.
No, I toast the cheese in the oven.
Yeah, this is another like because technically
Where
like
this is a food fight happening.
but like Carl's Jr. claims that it's char broiled. It's just ran through an extremely no, they do have fire. I'm not disputing that. It might get a flamer too. But it's ran through a really hot rotisserie that cooks your food within 30 seconds.
I've never been there either. Or a
You've never-
Hardee's.
That's right, because like the one I worked at was only part, and that was more of a Northern Oregon thing. Do you know I laughed so hard? I've been going to Vegas a lot lately. They have a Dutch Brothers.
Oh my god.
In
They
a
really grown out of their small town roots.
Vegas has every kind of fast food that you can like. If it's in your town, they have a Rallies. They have all kinds of things.
Do they have a Voodoo Donuts yet?
Okay, I'm gonna say something unpopular. I never liked Voodoo Donuts.
I've never eaten one. So I don't care.
It's too commercial. Okay, there is a donut place down the street from my house. I've been going there since I was a child. It's just a simple thing. It's a donut. But to me, it's the greatest thing on earth. Voodoo Donuts puts bacon and like they or like Captain Crunch and all this crazy stuff. I was never a fan of those overpriced donuts. I don't know. I'm old school. I'm a donut shop old school kind of guy. And I just never understood. But Voodoo Donuts is very Portland.
It is.
They might kick me out of the Keep Portland Weird Club if I said that.
I don't know if that's a club I want to be in right now.
Again, I
Just
haven't
speaking
been
for
there, like,
myself.
I went back in 2012, but I haven't been there since 2012. I've driven past, but with my experience, like the only reason, like there's a pad shop I like, that place is gone. So there's really no reason for me to go there. Few friends, there's friends, but you know, they've all grown up. You grill the chicken, not the bread. So yeah, we have food fights here in the house of sewing. I will grill cheese. You can't bend me from my evil ways, Craig.
It's getting contentious tonight.
What they are describing is the cheese toasting or a toast sandwich.
Okay,
Every
so
time
is
go ahead.
this an issue of is the bread and the cheese pan fried on this cooker or is it placed on a sheet in the hub?
And Hertz Donut reminds me of my uncle. That's the greatest name for a donut shop ever, Native Atheist.
Yeah.
They had a donut shop in my town called Hertz Donuts. I love their bacon maple long johns. See, that's different. Those are bomb when they're fresh. At Voodoo Donuts, they'll have one that's been sitting there all day.
Oh, if they're selling day old donuts, no, those are discounted. You can't do that shit. It's like
Portland
bagel
one-
shops.
There's ones outside of Portland that were decent. The one in Portland was like a Disneyland Voodoo Donuts, if you know what I'm saying, because it was a tourist. Like you could tell.
It was
all
the
people-
original. It was the OG, so it got that yes, and then they expanded and got shitty, like everything.
And again, this is when I lived there 100 years ago, but it was so weird. Portland had a ton of tourists, and you could always tell the tourists because they were like, "We have to go to Voodoo. We have to."
Yeah, well, it's kind of like living in Seattle, and even if you live there, sometimes you're just like, I need to go to Pike Place Market because I just need to get my fill of salmon tossing.
You know what? That's so true. When I lived like in the heart of Los Angeles, I used to go to the Central Market because I was hooked on this one Hawaiian place. I loved Hawaiian food and didn't know it. Like all these different cultures I was exposed to in one place.
Good.
I respect that and would call that grilled cheese. If you toast bread in a pan, it's a toasty regardless of what you put between the bread. Well, I have a grill in the middle of my oven. Does that count?
Yes. Oh, that's funny. Ellie held with the bread, just the cheese. Yes, I could just do with tuna tuna salad patties, tuna salad like you would do crab or lobster cakes. Ooh, we're gonna have
I have a
tuna
weird
cakes.
question. I have a really weird question. And this was
Okay.
pointed out from a YouTuber from Ireland. And ever since she pointed it out, it's so weird to me. Do you think it's weird that in America our bread does not go bad?
I do, which is why I want to get back to baking bread again, because it's not like I'm lacking flour, yeast, water, or know how right now. Oh, there goes my snips. But
Ever since this was pointed out to me, it just is the strangest thing to me because it's true. Like I have muffins in my house that are 3 weeks old that are still good.
yeah, that's not right. That's not normal.
They're still fluffy too. Like I have sourdough bread that's like my son goes to this weird thing where he buys all this bread and I'm like, "You're not gonna eat this." He's like, "Yes, I am," and then he doesn't eat it. So I'm
He's
eating it.
not. Oh, right. So he's not carbo loading, and you are, and that's where the problem. You would need to stop him from bringing these things into your house. You've got the money. If he wants all that bread, he needs to pay for it himself.
We are the only country in the world where our bread doesn't go bad after 48 or 72 hours. It's just weird to me, and I never noticed it until somebody in Ireland pointed it out, and I was like, "Oh, you're right," because she moved here from Ireland, and she's like, "Oh, the biggest difference in America is their bread doesn't go bad," and I never noticed because I go back and forth with bread.
Yeah, I could go with that. I was on it or
Oh, I
thinking about
guess
it
American.
yesterday for whatever reason. It was like I don't necessarily need a hamburger, but just give me the meat patty with salad greens and cheese and all the fixings in a bowl. I'm just as happy. I don't need it to be between bread.
I've had Euro bread and it's way better because it's fresh. I agree, but I'll tell you, I lived with somebody who would make fresh bread all the time. I gained 40 pounds. I'm not
Oh
even.
shit!
I looked 6 months pregnant.
Right? So we've improved.
Well, I'm one of those people. I have one of those bodies where like I gain all my weight in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Yup. I, yes.
In the back and the front.
Those who survive the famine versus those who don't.
And so when I quit living with those people, I lost weight.
But also, I don't know, somebody needs to check the amount of nitrogen and glyphosate fertilizers that they use in Europe versus what they use here. I'm curious.
They do not use preservatives like we do. They
But they
it's
irradiate their eggs so you can keep your eggs and your cheese from the counter at room temperature, which is mind boggling to
I
me.
had this conversation with my son not 2 days ago in the car. This exact same conversation because it trips me out about the bread. And he always goes to the eggs too.
Right?
How does bread go bad? It just gets
Mold. Penicillin mold.
Ew.
Oh, free penicillin, yes.
My grandmother made everything from scratch, and she'd always have refried beans in that house. And like, if it got bad, she would literally just like move the mold off the top, chuck it in the trash, and reheat everything. And I always thought that was gross.
Right,
But
but it's
my dad,
not.
my family would always be like, "Hey, man, that's free penicillin." Yuck! It reminded me of my depression era grandmother. Those old schoolers wouldn't get rid of anything though. But
No, if you grew up in the Depression era, your experiences were very different from ours are currently, and it changed you.
But I find I was raised by those people, so I clash in the modern world in a lot of ways because I was raised by people from that era and their
Yeah.
children. There's places in Europe that you can get ETA, raw pork, beef, and chicken, not just eggs.
Wow.
It's crazy how in America our bread does not go bad. And you know what the funny thing is? Like I love sourdough. I made a bacon and egg sandwich last night. It was amazing. It tasted fresh and everything. That bread is at least 3 weeks old, and it still tastes amazing.
And there was no mold in it.
None. I put my glasses on because I refuse to get sick. I'm not even playing. I'm in my kitchen with my glasses on. Like I refuse to get sick. And plus, it's just me and my son, so I constantly am checking dates of food and everything because we get over ambitious at the grocery store. Like even yesterday, I went and I've fallen in love with this guacamole. I bought one, and my son bought one. And today I was like, because he's at his mom's house. I'm like, man, we are such gluttons. Like just looks bad. We should be able to share. We should be
Right, you
able.
don't each need your own tub of Fritos jalapeno cheese dip.
Well, it's guacamole. Like if you're working out, it's a healthy fat. But if you're not working out, you're gonna gain some weight. Eating avocados are a healthy fat. They're not bad for you, but you gain weight.
They do because a serving is like half an avocado and a tub is like way more than that.
It's just this really. He doesn't like anything. I am a spicy person, but I grew up around people who really do not like spice. Well, my father did, but that's different. But I'm a jalapeno. I'm not crazy. I don't do the one chip challenge. I would never eat anything that wasn't enjoyable. I'm
Right,
not trying
except
to,
yes.
like I'm not trying to have my mouth go numb. I like hot
It,
food.
it,
Like,
it doesn't need to hurt both times you experience it.
oh, come on, people of Earth, food should not hurt. Food is for us to enjoy, sit down, and talk with our fellow people. Food should not hurt.
Not like that.
I grill my own peppers as well. Alibaba. I think that's what it is too. I've grown a tolerance towards certain spice too.
Might have not been. Oh my god. I had this tiny tomato growing, and the deer decided to come and help themselves to my one tomato and my squash plant.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, I would lose it. I'm still mad about my pineapples. This comment has me. Okay, native atheist. I agree with you. Online, if you ever want to fight someone on Twitter, just say I do not eat beans with my breakfast, and that will start World War V on Twitter. in English, in English, breakfast is a huge point of contention. If you want to live forever, I wouldn't recommend it.
I don't need an English breakfast, but there's been many a day where I've eaten lentil dal, or no, I know the fancy names. I've had chana dal, and I've had this dal, and I've had that other Indian word for bean dal. I have eaten beans for breakfast, but not with blood pudding and sausage and ham and all that fried food. So yeah.
It doesn't really smell I would just eat food. Okay. I give a disclaimer in the beginning of my stream. I want to say the English are beautiful people. London has amazing museums with just amazing just walking around London is history itself.
Yes. All those crown jewels.
That's where I will leave it. It's hard to find jalapenos here. Native. I'm not like. Did you say you live? I don't want to dox you. You live in Tiger King country. I shouldn't say that because that's mean. But I've been to where natives from, and that's weird that you can't find jalapenos there.
I
Again,
know.
we're from the West Coast. Like avocados and jalapenos are everywhere here.
It's true, which is yeah. Except, oh my god, what the f is going on? Because I keep wanting one, and the big fancy ones are almost like $4 per one avocado, and the other ones are, for like little ones are almost $2, $1.52 for an avocado. And I'm like, no,
Same.
I will
It's
not pay those prices.
it's almost the same here. That's why I purchased that weird guacamole, because the math. I was like, okay, this actually is in my favor.
Right, I know. I've been seeing in the discount section pre-made guacamole for like $2 for an 8-ounce container, and I'm like, well, that math's better than the other one.
Oh, natives. Okay, natives. I just didn't. I didn't want to natives in Oklahoma. I didn't want to dox native or anything. I've been doxed, but that's just weird to me that they don't have jalapenos in Oklahoma. I've been to
Right?
Oklahoma. They have amazing food. I'm a pull off the highway and eat anywhere kind of guy. I had a great time in Oklahoma. Great time. Great food, great people. There's a lot of America that people don't explore. I had a great time in Oklahoma. Well, with me, I don't grill parasites. Man, we take a lot of that for granted. We take a lot of that for granted. I've been to other countries where they don't have the USDA like we do. I'm just making sure, Nave. I'm just making sure. Nothing but respect. Man, these conversations always have me craving pancakes and stuff. Tiger King Country is the best name for the middle of the country I've ever heard.
I know, so much nicer than Flyover Country. Okay, they effed up somewhere. And I
When
can't
that
see the
came
picture.
out, I didn't watch it at first, and people were looking at me. They're like, "Of all people on earth, why have you not watched this?" And I'm like, "Ah." And somebody who I see every week was like, "Dude, you are the Tiger King." I was like, "What are you talking about?" By the third episode, I called her and was like, "I hate Carol Baskin." On the fourth episode, I was like, "They all did it." I
Right?
was like calling her after every episode. I fell in love. For anyone who knew me 5 years ago, I came in the community talking about I loved the Tiger King until we found out all his real crimes. I rescind my love for the Tiger King.
Speaking of big cats, how's Odin?
Okay. I
Oh
have
no.
no, this is real life. We're adults here. We have to talk about this because I don't know what to do with it. I haven't seen Odin in 6 or 7 months, and the raccoon is completely taking over my backyard.
Oh, so hard to tell whether something happened or she's just scared of the raccoon.
I hope the raccoon, but I took care of her for 3 years, almost 4
Right?
years.
Yeah,
So
that's
she was a
odd.
baby when I found her. It's like she was
Mm,
abandoned, and she was a big kid by the time she disappeared. But my
yeah.
son wants to get rid of the raccoon because he wants revenge for Odin.
Oh yes.
He's
I'm
mad.
here for that.
He is mad, and it's sad. Like that was my cat, and it disappeared. But
Yeah.
like the cat's gone. The cat's gone. I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to myself. The raccoon has
Yeah.
taken over where the cat was. That's just.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go in there and find what's left of Odin in there.
Yeah.
Nothing so quickly captures the middle of America like a exotic cat smuggler involved in the murder plot. And so now, I called yesterday I called the county and I was like, "What can I legally do to remove a raccoon?" Because we even though I live in LA County, our infrastructure of our dog catcher has disappeared. Yay! Hello, Mona. Hello. Great to see you. Great to see you. And I want to avenge I feed stray cats, and I wondered why they weren't coming around anymore. And it's because that raccoon is taking over my backyard.
Maybe I know I have one where my day job is, who I think she is like 13 or 14, and there's some food handlers who help for her. But last week I didn't see her, but I did see a fox run past my office door. A little baby fox. I was like, oh, maybe that's why she's hiding.
and like is I have always taken care of stray animals, and this is the harsh reality of taking care. It's sad, but I tried to get Odin in my house a gajillion times, and she didn't want to.
Mm.
So she had a great run. I raised her from time she was a kitten until she was a full grown cat. So I'm proud of that.
Yes. Cat daddy in the house.
My son is in the backyard yelling at a raccoon like, "I will avenge my cat."
Alright, fine. This could be a matte side and not a shiny side because I'm not unpicky.
I was filming for my video the other day on Thursday. I walked out and it was drinking water. I have 4 fountains at my house. Okay, judge me, I'm
Yeah.
bougie. And it was drinking water out of a side fountain. And like I'm an animal lover, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it alone. But then it dawned on me, I was like, wait a minute. And I saw it walk back into where Odin used to live, and I'm like, oh, cat's gone.
Mm.
No stop, Pasco. So oh no, a raccoon. Yes, it did. And like I loved Odin was a one-eyed black cat who was abandoned in my backyard. Someone moved and abandoned a kitten. And I raised it from the time up until last year. When I that was 3 years that I raised that cat. The cat probably just moved somewhere. I hope. Odin was street smart. It had its claws. Odin was huge too because I fed her all the time. She got huge. But I'm hoping she moved on like Fievel in the American Tail movie.
Oh,
I hope she
it's
found
just a
great
coon.
new
Maybe
world.
she'll come back, but who knows? Yeah, it's hard to tell.
It's been a while. And once I saw the
Yeah.
raccoon there, I was like, but again, I put a lot of my I have a shed on the other side where the pump for the fountain is. And I put a lot of my dad's stuff in there, so I haven't gone in there in years. And there's a bunch of welding, like really old welding equipment and stuff, and so I know it's gone. Cats and raccoons don't normally fight to the death. Where I live, raccoons have no natural predators. They are ferocious.
They are the apex predator. Oh no!
They are. There's nothing to stop them. There's nothing to stop raccoons, especially suburban raccoons, and they know this. They have newsletters.
They have their HOA meetings and be like, "This one's good."
And it's funny. We have possums right here. Possums mind their own business. They run away and they play dead when you see them. But like, so now I have to go. Like, I don't know what to do because that thing has a right to live. But part of me is like, I don't like you because you offed my cat.
I know, but you're gonna have to find a way that doesn't cause huge issues.
On Monday, I'm gonna call the It's so true. Raccoons have thumbs. Raccoons have human-like hands. It's freaky. Native, it's so true because they eat my grapes and I watch them. I have a backyard cam. They pick them off like we would with your thumb and your finger. They have fingers.
They have opposable thumbs.
They do. Raccoons have hands. My friend's cat plays with raccoons young, and the cat brings them snacks. I hate raccoons. I'm so mad. It's all because of my cat. I am not friends with raccoons right now. Possums eat them. Exactly, Mona. Like, imagine if something harmed your cat, you wouldn't be feeding it, would you, Tina?
Oh no, my cats are. I have indoor cats unless something accidentally happens. So the last 2 lived on this. Actually, all my babies lived on the streets for a period of time, and then they go out with supervision, and they come in when I tell them to.
Raccoons are violent, but they don't kill to eat. They rummage, and they always like that everywhere. Raccoons always want the smoke. They do, and they're not scary humans. I think the one in my backyard, I caught it off guard because I came out there fierce. See, but again, when I'm wearing my cowboy boots, I'm fearless. If I walked out there with sandals, I would have walked in the house. But with my cowboy boots all the way up my shin, I'm fearless.
I'm gonna
With a
mute
full
myself
inhaler
now.
and my cowboy boots, I'm fearless. I've seen raccoons open my minnow trap. They undid the latch. Exactly. They have thumbs. I raised a raccoon. They're a great pet, but they will destroy everything. They're cute, but they can make a mess. Thank you. And get mean. Every animal, when I back when I used to have a food tray in my backyard, every animal would when I turn the light on, except for the cat, they'd all scurry away. The raccoon stands up and looks at you like, what do you want? Just like I told you, I'm kind of a tree hugger. Even though I called the county and I was like, can I legally put a 22 in this thing? And they were like, no, go move somewhere else. But yeah, so when I was filming for my Friday shows, because it was looking for water and I kind of felt sorry for it. But then when I walked out there, it climbed straight up in my fruitless mulberry, and I'm like, that's my tree, raccoon. That is my tree. On Monday, I'm going to call the city and see what I can really do about it. But, that's what happens when you own a house. And I brought this upon myself because I'm feeding everything outside. I've turned into my grandmother. I'm feeding the birds. I all kinds of things. And it's beautiful. My backyard is beautiful. I have all these beautiful animals back there. But now a raccoon has taken over. It's not the raccoon you have to worry about. It's the 20 other raccoons you see hiding nearby. And that's another thing. They never travel alone. You're right. They do not travel alone. That's why I don't want to go in the shed, because I'm going to open that thing up and there's going to be like quite a few of them in there. I hope they learn how to weld and ride a bike, because there's welding equipment in there and a bicycle.
Do your job.
Coyotes are like that. Yeah, but coyotes are emaciated dogs. Raccoons are doing push-ups in the bushes and eating my grapes.
Yeah, but then the bears are the same way. Bears are just giant raccoons, but scarier because they're bigger.
I watch really scary videos online of raccoons knocking doors open of people's front doors. I have a healthy fear of bears. Unlike Greg Bryant, who does not fear kangaroos, I have a healthy fear of bears. We have, they're not emaciated here. We have huge packs of coyotes. That's another point of contention where I live. It's now legal to take them out, and my tree hugger self was like, I just shoo them off the property.
It's true, but you don't. Do you have livestock there besides your horses, which are in a barn?
Everything we do is completely encapsulated in a new age farm, so everything's indoors.
Okay, so then I think that's why. It's the ranchers and that have livestock that need to pasture.
Like
that are
the food out in the fields, you can't help that, but they're not vegetarians.
I'm a vegetarian. I eat animals that only eat vegetables.
Oh, they don't shoot. You know what's so funny? Coyotes are like that too. Like here, if they have something, unless you walk up to them, because they're scared of humans in a weird way, but if you just kind of yell at them, they'll back up, but then they realize this human's not coming near me. They're not stupid at all.
Mm-mm. No, there's that dumb lady who let the cougar into her house and was like, oh, we're just going to let it take a nap here for a while. What the frick, lady?
That is an anxiety attack. I couldn't even. If she was my neighbor, I would be like, my neighbor needs to be put in an institution.
Which this one needs to be 5150.
I would call a meeting, be like, look, I don't judge people. I'm an obscure human, but this person needs to be 5150 for real.
There's something not right going on here.
Or like that video of that guy who was feeding deers carrots or whatever in his garage. Bro, what is wrong with you? You live like some guy in Colorado got famous. Like he just basically was trying to be YouTube famous. And he would feed wildlife from his front door.
That's an issue because some deer have tuberculosis. But two, did you hear about that ridiculous kid who caused a train to derail to become internet famous?
No, see, stuff like that I can't hear about. Like, please tell me, but stuff like that gives me anxiety. Like, I tell my kid all the time, it's not worth it.
Good.
I don't want him to hurt himself or do something stupid trying to be infamous on the internet.
Yeah, I don't have all the detail. I don't off the top of my brain cells, but yeah, if you just look up some kid in some place was like, I'm gonna cause a train derailment and then film it so I can upload it or live stream. I don't remember.
Really, really quickly. Hold on, let me go back really quickly because I'm about to go off about this. There was a kid that picked apples and they tried to eat the kid every day. Was on the local news. Big farm kid would just kick them. Oh, that's so funny. I had a bird in the house. I ran around like a little girl. I called a friend. He said, open the door. Birds are kind of dumb though, because we get birds in our shop and we have these huge 40-foot bay doors and they still miss the door sometimes. So birds aren't always. Coyotes are the only animal here you can hunt all year round. The off season. Oh, the off season of here is coyote time. A 13-year-old kid had to stop his business due to the city saying he had to put up a fence to keep them away. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. See, there was a kid here who would jump 7-Eleven racks to get famous in my town. And the cops were like, oh, we don't know what we can do. The city council was like, do we need to pass a law to put this kid in jail?
Well, isn't there already laws that be like, if you dump the stuff over, don't ask permission, you're trespassing, property damage, loitering, like...
He eventually...
a lot of those, they're IP. It's like, if you ask permission, then maybe you'll get it, but there's ways to do things, and if you just show up with your camera and your tripod and you're like, we're gonna do our dance here now. No!
This kid did thousands of dollars of damage. He knocked over every rack in a 7-Eleven, and sometimes they'd hit the glass. Like, he would do tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage.
Yeah. No, those are already criminal laws, or should be.
He got caught. He's lucky he got caught because there were like grown men who were like, if we ever see this child, we will hold him down until the police show up. He's lucky. He was lucky because it happened like right down the street from my house, and there are some ornery grown men around here that.
Oh, that's good. That this young individual they needed to learn some. Those are not. You can't do shit like that, dude.
Well, Greg, that's different. If you're protecting your donkeys, that's different. That's a whole. That's why everything we own is encapsulated in a big, giant dome. I'm making it sound more dramatic than what it is. It's any property that would house horses and other animals, but it's a building.
Don't they still call that a barn? Is barn not like an acceptable term for where animals are housed?
If that was my kid, he wouldn't walk for a week and never see the internet for months. Oh, it was awful. It was awful, Mona. And he was going to and people work so hard. I don't care. I've worked every crummy job you could possibly think of. I will never talk trash. I've swept floors. I've done anything you could possibly think of. It's hard stocking a 7-Eleven, and this kid would knock over the entire the entire store. I'm still mad about it, and he's probably still in jail.
Who knows? Who knows?
No, he was prosecuted. Like, it was a big deal in my town. People went out of their way, and he got time because he kept on putting it on YouTube.
Yeah, right? That's how.
That's a self-indictment right there. We were like, dude, he's committing a crime. Like, we could all
Right.
show you.
Yes. You don't even have to look very hard. It's right here. They do it to them. They do it to yourself.
But do you
It's
think,
true.
like, there's a difference between a flash mob. If I see a flash mob, I'm gonna roll my eyes and move on.
Right, but you can't do that either unless you have, depending on the location, it's okay or it's not okay.
Like, okay, we have Universal City Walk here. All the time they do flash mobs or people like that place. It's known. If you're there, you're probably gonna end up in a TikTok video or Hollywood Boulevard. I'm not kidding you. I've told the story a million times. I got bored one day. I went all the way up Vineland. I made a left on Hollywood Boulevard, and I saw at least 15 to 20 TikTok videos being filmed.
Oh, wow.
But in downtown, they have signs everywhere that says no filming here. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere in downtown. But you still see Santee Alley videos all the time.
Oh, you can't help everything. Oh my god, I might need to go and eat some food soon.
I know. I've been going longer than normal. Usually, I haven't been going that long lately because I know people have lives, and I appreciate everybody who streams with me. I kind of took the day off today because Phoenix was sewing for everybody. Please go subscribe to Phoenix Electra's Circus. She's an amazing sewist here in this realm of amazing sewists here on YouTube. I will be back at it on Monday. And you know what? I promise you this week, I will know that Monday is Monday and Wednesday is not Monday. 2 weeks in a row, my thumbnail has said Monday, blah, 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 blah. It's because it feels like Monday.
Because when things are that shitty, you forget what day of the week it is.
My Wednesdays have become Mondays. But I want to thank everybody who's here. Anyone who watches this in the future, I absolutely thank you. You guys are appreciated so much. I'll be back at it on Monday, making something crazy. I was gonna go through my fabric, but I'm literally looking at like 150 yards of like 5 yards in cuts.
Oh god, I know. And I'm trying to figure out these like tiny paper piecing things for this project. The one I thought that was going to be easier of the quilts is the bigger one, and Allie said earlier they were like, you do the smaller one first. So I'm like, all right, 9 weird patch paper, English paper pieced. Like the blocks are like literally this big, so like 5-inch blocks maybe with like tiny pieces. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be like kind of nice in my stitching, so Sphinx is it, because body go, I'll drive too fast and I'm scared. Nobody except the French. Oh my god, somebody's got a deep end at it. Those folks, like, no,
real.
we don't like Gruyere. We don't like.
Reminds me of my grandfather. He had a list. I cleaned my sewing room. Oh, I know do you know?
Yes.
I have this weird thing. Like I've been cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, and it just keeps going. That's when I started. I don't know how I got in there.
Except, yes, I like clean or go through stuff, but then I just have different piles in different places, and nothing like is less or more condensed. It's just moved. They just migrate. Fabrics migrate. The fabric migrants, fabric immigrants to different places.
That's I was trying to bring everything in the same room, and I'm like, I don't know if I should, because I have a ton of fabric in my closet, and I'm like, maybe it should have stayed in there. Because every time I look at this giant pile, I'm like, why did I bring half of this stuff in here? But I want to sew everything, but it's just a giant pile of I'm like looking at it at a shame right now.
Right. My issue is I just need to be able to see. I need everything like visible. If stuff is stuffed away in a bag, not a see-through tub. I need to see it. I can work through my stuff if I'm like, nope, I don't really need it. I've got enough. I can self-control, state regulate. If I can't see stuff, I can't self-regulate.
Same. I have fabric under my bed. Okay, I don't feel
not
bad
there
because I
yet.
do too.
I'm not there yet. Never mind. I have half-finished
But
projects on my bed.
that's why
It's
lately,
worse.
I've been on this really hardcore. I'm cleaning everything because every time I go and buy more fabric, I come home with like 50 yards and I'm like, what did I just do?
Right. So your
And
stash.
I have been. And honestly, I'm on my like second or third week of sewing only exclusively in my stash, and I'm nowhere near the end. And
Right.
like, let's be real, I buy 5 okay, Mona, you're making me feel better because neither do I. I start at 5 yards. And if somebody tells me anything like $2, I will be like, okay, can I have 10 yards? It's like it just comes out of
I know at that price the thrill of the hunt is good, but I know for most things, for me and my proportions, 3 to 4 yards is sufficient for making for me.
I just have that hook. I mean, I just have fabric under my bed. Oh, Greg, you are appreciated here. You bring life. I do though. I have so much fabric, and I don't know what to do. And the more, because to me it's fun, But and if you didn't show up, Phoenix, I was gonna spend 3 hours going through my fabric tonight.
Oh, no.
'Cause
Well,
it's
we
just
had a
a
different.
chore.
I don't know if I helped or hurt because I told you about a new. You're not I. If I hear you say you went shopping at Remainders before Halloween, we might not be able to hang out anymore.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go there. I am definitely gonna go there.
In October, in November 1st, you can go. You can't go till November 1st.
That is old school. Native, that's old school. Yeah, right, Greg. But I don't know what so needless to say, I'm gonna be going through tonight because actually no, I have to go to the grocery store tomorrow, so I won't stay up all night. But I'm gonna go through some fabric because I love sewing stuff. I have the fabric here. It's just I look at Mount Fabric and I lose motivation.
But then you could sew cute, sparkly, machine embroidered bats on poly mesh with a treadle machine, and then add rhinestones, and then some more trim. Cause
See, that looks great. I do need to get on it. I have so much, and now because of my tweed insanity, I have tweed, I have polyester, I have any synthetic fabric you could possibly think of. I have synthetic tweed. I have real tweed.
Oh, gross. Most of that stuff. Oh, but at least was it Pendleton wool that. Why did the U.S. Olympic team wear wool from Oregon for the opening ceremonies in the summer in Paris?
And it's raining. I guess
that was good planning that they did have the wool then.
It rained through the entire opening. That's why I thought it was dumb. Kilroy was 100% correct. The only reason I really thought the boats were dumb is because it was raining. I want to see the people's faces. I want to see the South Korean delegation. I want to see their faces. All I saw were raincoats. I was so mad. I was so mad.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Oh, this is gonna be so cute. It's terrible.
There's nothing wrong with that, Craig. So needless to say, they were prepared with their wool suits on from Oregon because it was pouring rain throughout the entire ceremony. I don't know who planned that. That was poor planning in a city filled with covered stadiums. Just saying. I'm just saying. That is true, Alibaba. It depends on the weave of the wool. All right, we're all packing up. I'll be back at it on Monday for sure. I'll be sewing something crazy as always. I've been going wild on the YouTube shorts. I appreciate everybody who's been watching my YouTube shorts. Seriously. I'll be back at it on Monday. Please go subscribe to Phoenix Electra's Circus. I hope everyone's doing well. I will be back at it on Monday. This is not a fake out. I'm actually leaving this time. So, like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you guys next time. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.